You're like Zach Morris. Saved by the Bell, baby. By the time I get... See, Jim, he grabbed his books. He gave himself a look. He ran to the corner just in time to see that bus fly by. It's all right, Jim. You've been saved by the bell.
The bus didn't fly by. The bus was stopped in front of me. That fucking twat Uber driver. Well, things were going great. We were on Madison Avenue flying.
Right.
And we go to 49th, make a left. That's where we were.
You're sitting there going, I think I'm going to be there early. Sam and I are going to be able to have a little chit-chat before the show.
I wasn't thinking that.
Oh.
I was going to stand outside the studio. But he makes a left on 43rd for no reason, because these fucking maps, there's no human intuition with the maps.
Right.
And he runs us right into a stop, like an oil trucks when they get the. Why would you fucking unload oil at 7:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning? God damn it!
Traffic was really bad today because
terrible.
They 47th Street between like 5th and 6th or something, like they closed this giant super busy section of the road between midnight and 8 a.m. So instead of opening back up at like 6 when the traffic might start, it's closed till 8. So all the streets around it are just flooded with traffic.
Yeah, it was bad, but
he went down the wrong street, though.
He literally...
This was incompetent.
This was probably was the map, to be honest with you. But these guys, like, you see fucking Madison Avenue is clear in front of you.
Yes.
Just stay with it.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
So I had to run. It's not the biggest deal. It's more annoying because we were actually doing pretty well, and I'm like, ugh, I was fucking making all noise in the back.
You did?
Yeah. I Snapchatted the oil truck. I was so annoyed.
Did you say anything when you were Snapchatting? Like, were you mad? Where did you take your anger out? On the oil truck?
I was just
on the map, on the driver?
It was just, this guy stopped on one side, a guy stopped on the other side, and the fire truck can't get through.
What do you want from me?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
So what are you going to, star-wise?
1.
1 star for
One
the driver?
star.
because
One
he went down 43rd.
For no reason.
What are you doing that for?
For no reason.
You do have to be able to look up from your GPS every now and then. I mean, this isn't even professional drivers. This is just as a human being. Like, you have to be able to look at the road and be like, you know what? Maybe this computer doesn't have all the information that I have in front of my face.
Because you can see the fact that the street was clear.
Right.
And when he made the left, I'm Mr. Bark out directions from the back. I'm a cunt passenger.
Would you consider yourself a backseat driver?
Yeah, but I think I know where I'm going, and these guys, they don't know. Like he thought it was between 5th and 6th Avenue. He's like, no, between 6th and 7th.
Right.
He's like, I got to go between, or 7th and 8th. He's like, I got to go between 7th and 8th. I'm like, no, what are you doing?
I'm looking at the traffic map now, and it looks like, 43rd was not your best option.
No, it was bad.
Right, because, a lot of red. A lot of red. 2 blocks of red on 43rd.
Look at 49th.
Yeah, orange. Orange all the way down. Plus on 43rd, you would have had to go down 6th Avenue. And
49th, I would have made a left, over 5th, over 6th, stop.
No, I'm saying on 43rd.
Yeah.
And it still was bad on 6th. Oh, you can't do... Oh, yeah, it would have been bad, Jim. That was the wrong call, 43rd.
Terrible call.
So what'd you have to do? Get out and just hustle down the road?
Yeah, just run.
Did you run?
I did run.
Oh, my God. Well, how great it would have been. I wish there were fans of the show that saw you. How amazing. I wish there were fans of the show. How amazing would it have been to sit there and watch Jim Norton just jogging to the studio. I got to make it. I got to make it.
I had to.
Just mumbling to yourself.
I was very angry.
You were?
Yeah, I was fucking angry because it didn't have to be that way. If it's traffic, I accept that there's traffic.
Sure.
But when you're doing well and the guy just makes a call for no reason, all of a sudden you're like, why'd you do this?
That's pure incompetence.
That's to the maps. They listen to these maps, and it's like there's no...
That's why I don't think the machines are going to have a real tough time taking over human beings. Because human beings are really eager to just hand themselves over to a map. You know what I mean? Or over to an app or over to a machine. They're like, oh, you know what? It's like, it starts with people like going, well, we don't have to learn anything anymore because we could just Google it. And then they go, okay, well, we don't have to pay attention to directions anymore because we can use Google Maps. Okay, well,
hold on, let me ask you, what is Google, though? It's like, like reading something.
Yes.
If you read something, I know reading is good, but if you read something, you learn it. Mm-hmm. And if you Google something, you're reading it, you're just getting it faster.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between learning it and Googling it. So, like, if you Google it, you don't retain the information. You just go, I need the answer. I Google, I read the answer, I give it to you. Theoretically, if you're reading it and you have to look it up, you're going to try to retain the information so the next time somebody asks you, you're not just re-Googling.
Nah, the way your brain's not all filled up with such nonsense. Who needs all that shit?
Clear the paths out a little bit.
Yeah, do you remember algebra? That was all books. I don't remember any of that stuff. French, any of these things I took in books I don't remember. You ask me to Google something, I'll remember it forever.
You think so?
No.
That quick hit information, that's where it hits. That's where it stays.
I'm trying now not to. This is my new goal. I don't want to. I'm multitasking. I was reading something that's very bad. Like, we all think that we're great multitaskers,
I don't.
but you don't get anything done that way.
No.
So I've said to myself, I'm going to stop doing it.
It's definitely terrible.
But it feels like we feel so overwhelmed. There's shit, 10, 12, 15 things you got to get done. So I've stopped. I watched the final episode of The Crown, and I made myself do it without my phone. It's really hard to watch TV without your phone.
It's amazing because I don't multitask. I hate multitask. I've hated multitasking for a long time. I don't believe in it. It's bullshit. It's like anyone who multitasks, there's nobody who's good at it, and everyone that multitasks is doing the job a fraction as well as they would have, depending on how many things they're doing at once.
Well, that's what they said, and I also you think you're better at it than you are, and the people 100%. Who are better at it are people who don't think they're good at it. Like, people who think they're great multitaskers, they said your results are worse than if you smoked pot or stayed up all night. So I had to look at my phone a couple times, but I actually paused the show and then went to it. Are
you trying to multitask less or just be addicted to looking at your phone?
Well, the phone is pretty much the multitask thing.
But I mean, like, are you both. Actually doing something? You're just like, oh, let me check Twitter for absolutely no reason. Because I do that all the time.
For no reason. Yeah. And in the car this morning, I'm like, who gives a fuck about Twitter?
Let me look at my mentions. What are they saying about me?
Well, yeah, it's exactly. Or Facebook or whatever, or Drudge, just to see the new. It's like, just stop.
For literally no reason.
No fucking
I'm
reason.
Engaged in this television show, and for some reason I'm picking up my phone and just seeing if there's anything new.
Yeah.
And how much more, you figured out, how much more do you take away from a TV show when you're actually just watching it? Like, you start to realize, like, holy shit, I must have missed a lot. Because you do. Any show that you actually have to pay attention to, you always miss stuff when you're multitasking.
I'll tell you what I picked up last night. I didn't realize this the entire series of The Crown. It's in England.
Is it?
I did not know.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't pick up on the accent?
I did not know.
Because you thought it was about a dentist?
They said Sussex. I thought it was Jersey.
I'll put my phone down for, like, important shows like that I really want to pay attention to, like Westworld, or, like, things that I know I have to pay attention to. But if I'm watching, like, Shark Tank or, just, like, mindless shit.
Yeah. Well, some shows I feel like are designed for the phone culture. Like all those shows, Bachelor, Shark Tank, anything that's mindless is designed to multitask. Anything, if you're watching a show without multitasking and you're realizing that they reset up things the entire show, like every time they come back from break, they recap everything that just happened. That show is designed for you to not pay attention to it.
I just don't want to do it. It's like you get a headache. It doesn't feel satisfactory. I'm not reading anymore. Like,
it's not healthy.
It's really not healthy. No. But look, we all get caught up in it. But now I read that thing yesterday. I'm like, yeah, you really got to stop doing that because you're not getting shit done that you're supposed to be getting done.
You're also, by the way, everybody thinks that they can maintain engagement in conversations while they're on their phone, and you don't.
You can for a minute, but you can't for a long period.
No.
You can check one thing, but if you're just going through it, you cannot do it.
No, you don't at all maintain anything in the conversation.
It's a really hard. And I used to do a dumb bit about it, but it really is the truth. The hardest part is like this amazing thing, which I never imagined was possible. Like I don't know how to handle the fucking phone. Well, I don't know how to handle having one even at home. Like, it's just, to me, it's the fucking most amazing thing I've ever conceived.
I always thought
iPhone.
That the world's greatest iPod, a great phone, and an internet communicator would have to be 3 different devices.
I thought the same thing. And I would say that to a lot of women while they were sucking my dick. Yeah, they're like, why are you talking about this?
I have an internet communicator. Yeah, I don't care. James in Canada.
Good morning, Sam Boo, the bad guy Roberts, Jim Norton.
Hi, Jim.
Good morning.
Sam, actually, it's more for Jim. How the hell have you not jumped on Sam for saying multitask?
Instead of multitask?
Multitask.
I know, it annoyed me and I heard it.
Oh,
I just didn't. To be, it's like one of those things.
You didn't want to deal with it.
You pick your battles.
You're just like,
it's like what is?
Yeah, let's just have a conversation about it. I don't want to have to. You could say multitask.
You can say multitask.
Yes.
Multitask is how most people say it, but
yeah, but most people don't speak the King's English. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's a good point. I should know that.
Yeah,
from the crowd.
Exactly.
Like I watched the XFL. This was the XFL, and I watched the whole thing, and I think I didn't do anything while I was on. I made myself yesterday not do it.
And you become like this expert on the XFL.
That was a football thing.
You really didn't pick up your phone, did you?
Yeah, it was. It's hard not to do it though. It's like you're not even looking for anything.
Especially when you're used to it. You're like, because your brain becomes conditioned to having like being hit with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, constant stimulation. Your brain's like, all right, what?
Right. So if you're just watching a thing, your brain kicks in and goes, "This is boring. There should be more stuff going on.
There should be more just more like little needles from different directions.
Right.
You want to keep feeling like you're getting hit from little different directions. So I'm going to make myself stop doing that because it's like it makes you frazzled and fucking crazy and you don't feel like you're accomplishing anything.
I do one or the other, which I think can be more rude. Like last night, my wife had her cousin over the house. And I was just looking at stuff online and figure out, stuff that's going on that we can talk about on the show today and all that stuff. But I was sitting on the couch with them, but I decided since I don't multitask, I was just going to be having my face in my iPad. So, like, I wasn't part of their conversation at all. So after she left, I'm like, the girl that was in the room with us, Jess's cousin, must have thought I was very rude. But I was like, but I don't multitask. I'm not going to pretend to be engaged in this conversation and only get half out of the shit that I was looking up online and half out of the conversation.
It's probably your autism. You're only focusing on one thing at a time. Yeah.
I don't think that's autism.
That's a better way to be, though.
Focus.
Yeah. That's a better way to be.
Autistic?
No, just focusing on one thing at a time.
I think
because your brain can only do one thing at a time. We think that we're great at 10, but you're not.
Not true.
I don't know what it is. I just constantly. I've always, maybe it's a little bit of ADD too. I think. I think ADD kind of makes you multitask because I've done this before the phone, where I would write. I used to have to. When I would write in my books, I have to write and then have to be like in a place where there was some type of stimulation. Like I'm not good at sitting down and just going, okay, it's quiet.
It's funny that you're actually saying this because like forever. You have said, no, I can multitask. I'm a good multitasker.
Because I always thought I was.
And in my head, I wanted to be like, that's bullshit. Not about you, but just in general.
Anybody, yeah.
Because I don't believe in multitasking, but you came to it on your own. Like, because you read an article?
I just read something.
You're very susceptible to the things that you read.
Well, that's what you do. And here you are a second ago saying how good reading is. See?
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, we're all susceptible to the things we read.
That's true.
Or hear. No matter how you get information, you're susceptible. That's like saying you're susceptible to some sort of information. Yeah, well, yeah.
When informed people tell you things, you tend to believe them.
It just made sense when I read it. It was like, because I feel like a lot of times you walk around with not a headache, but a feeling of anxiousness and a constant feeling of, and it's like there's no reason to be feeling that way.
Or like something's bothering you. And you know that you can feed that thing that's bothering you with stuff online. And so you just start reading about that and reading about that and reading about that. And you forget that it doesn't matter. And by the time you wake up the next day, it's going to be gone anyway. It's like that. You could put it out of your head and it would never affect you again. But instead, you just feed it and feed it and feed it and feed it and feed it.
Yeah, it's very, very hard just to kind of settle and not do that. But I made an effort yesterday. It's going to take a little bit of time. Like I figured when I was watching The Crown, I stopped at like 18 minutes in. First of all, it's a long time for me not to check my phone. Is 18 minutes while I'm watching TV. And then later, I was like 49 minutes. I'm like, all right, wow, it was a half hour. I didn't even think of it.
This makes me want to text you and just be like, hey, dude, you watching TV?
I don't check my all notifications are always off for the last 5 years. No notifications are ever on. I have to hit the button to check. Maybe that's another reason. Is I don't.
Because you have to open it up.
I have to open it to check. Oh, you know, it's funny. I'm glad you said that. Because for years, I would have it vibrate, but then you're in a relationship and you're getting shady texts at fucking. Right. Who is that? Oh, it's my friend in L.A.
Please don't look at the screen.
But I'm telling you, that almost got me caught. So years ago, I turned off all notifications. So I keep my phone face up, so if someone calls, I usually see it.
I like that you didn't stop misbehaving. You just turned off.
Yeah, I turned off the thing that would get me caught.
Yeah.
But that's, you know what? That's another reason I'm afraid I'm going to miss something is because I'm going to turn on my vibrate. I'm glad you said that because that's one of the reasons I always check my phone is because there's no notifications on ever.
You know what I think is going to happen?
Total silence.
You're going to get the watch.
No.
Not going to happen?
No desire to get the watch. No.
That's like a notification machine.
No, I'd rather get the Apple earrings. Fuck the Apple Watch. Goddamn fucking lateral movements they've been making. I hate Tim Cook.
Really is terrible. But they're saying that the next big thing, because this is the 10th anniversary of the iPhone, which, in case you didn't know, is an internet communicator, a great phone, and the world's best iPod, all in one device.
Do you remember when it used to be in three different devices?
Now it's one device. But it's the 10th anniversary.
Today?
No.
Happy. When is?
I don't know when the day.
That was like last week, right?
I don't know what the day is.
Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so selfish.
Shit.
Yeah. I watched the keynote again.
So you know what I'm referencing when I tell you about the three devices?
Yes, I do. Yeah. But everybody was posting it like a couple days ago because it was the 10th anniversary of Steve Jobs unveiling it.
Right.
And the reaction of the crowd when he swipes up and it's just this fluid motion instead of what everybody else, was used to because they were touch devices, but they weren't as fluid. And it's just like we had no idea what to do with ourselves. Right. Because it was just so amazing.
And it's grown a lot in 10 years, but it's not that, I mean, for technology, it's just gotten stronger. But.
The difference between this iPhone and iPhone 1 is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean.
But the difference.
Flash on the camera.
The difference from iPhone to iPhone, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, has been pretty disappointing.
But there's also less to innovate. Like,
That's true.
What else are you going to do?
The processor has become much faster. That's where they've innovated.
How about your eyes? How about your eye scanning?
Enough with the eye scanning. Why not?
That's because you can vote with your phone someday.
Why do you want eye scans so much?
Because it's a great identifier. And
what
you
about
can
thumbprints?
They work too.
Yeah, they already do that.
They do.
I know. I'm saying it's another one. If you're going to vote, they're going to really want you to be who you are.
They can't even get Russians to stop hacking Donald Trump's email. They're not going to do online voting for quite some time.
Maybe not for a while, but I'm saying that's one step.
They're supposed to. The iPhone that comes out this year is supposed to be a great innovation, not just the iPhone, because they usually, what they come out with, the 7 recently?
Yeah.
So it's not just supposed to be the 7S. It's supposed to be like a big step forward because it's the big 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be?
I think it'll be...
They're improving the maps for Uber.
Yeah,
I would
that's
hope
the
so.
big step forward.
It is amazing that I'm complaining about the apps because the maps are annoying. But the reality is, like Waze and all these, they're the most amazing thing. Like I
No. You can complain about. Let's not act like
the fact that there's little mistakes in them. When I used to drive to gigs, I forget what comic I was talking to. It was a younger comedian, and you literally, if you were running late, you got out and you fucking found a payphone. That's how it sounds like forever. You had your dumb fucking map, your Rand McNally shit thing, which I still keep in the car in case we lose all electricity. Mm-hmm. And if you're running late, you just fucking found a gas station, you got out, you used your calling card, and you called the gig.
You know, it's so funny. It's so funny that you said that because I remember the iPhone version of that. When the first iPhone came out, it had Google Maps. Because right before the iPhone, I used to print out MapQuest directions everywhere I went. And so that's what I did right before the iPhone came out. When the first iPhone came out, it had Google on it and it had Google Maps on it, but it did not have GPS on it. So I remember like getting lost in places, and I would actually have to find a gas station so I could read the address on the door of the gas station, so I could type in the address and my destination and do it that way because there was no find my location. Well, there's no GPS.
Do you remember the OnStar? I remember with Kenny had that with his truck. That was like, he didn't have that's an older form of the directions. And we were lost one time. We were coming back here. I was so sick. Me and Kenny both got either a 24-hour flu or food poisoning. And I went up to Thursday night, did a gig in Connecticut, and I was coming back for the Friday morning show. Mm-hmm. And I started getting sick, and we got lost. And he had to keep pulling over in the mountains in Connecticut, going, okay, we're going to. And then the lady would come back on. It was the fucking... Oh, roads were closed, too, because it was raining.
So we kept getting to do step-by-step with OnStar?
We had to keep hitting barricades. I kept jumping out of the truck in the rain and vomiting. It was fucking... horrible.
Terrible.
But the OnStar
And that was
system,
OnStar, which was like the height of technology.
This was after there was already GPS. For some reason, his truck still, he said OnStar in his truck. But I forgot that was like, even then, that was an older form of it, but it was still existed.
Let's check the one source that we can go to that is not fake news. Tough facts. What have you heard about the iPhone for this year? Other than the improved
edge-to-edge display.
Oh,
like the screen will be,
like the other
now?
Huh? No,
like the other phone already has. You mean almost like almost like one of those pools?
It is now. Sorry, Sam.
No, it's not. There's a big black thing.
Oh, okay.
Right
he's pointing. Okay, pointing over his mouth.
The home button would be embedded into the screen.
So no buttons.
No buttons.
I like this, by the way. This button grew on me where you could feel it click.
It's weird, right?
But it grew on me, and when I realized it's just a feature of the phone, I'm like, that's pretty amazing. Like when you turn it off and you hit that button, there's no click.
So that was like the first step into integrating it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I hate the idea of no buttons because one of the great features of the current operating system on my great iPhone 6 is that every 15 minutes or so the touchscreen just stops working. So you have to put the phone to sleep and then wake it up again. And if I have to put the phone to sleep and wake it up again because the touchscreen's not working, how am I going to wake it up if the touchscreen's not working?
Well, that's good. You're interacting with your phone.
That's right. You're right. That's actually a good point.
Yeah, we'll turn that little joker off. I'm not even going to see.
So the edge-to-edge display is almost like one of those pools that looks like it goes on forever.
Yeah.
Do you ever see one of those on top of a building? I'm like, how come everybody's swimming? It's not just falling off the sides.
It's very dangerous.
I would love to have a pool like that.
Wasn't that one of your worries about going to the Candyman's mansion?
Oh, yeah, because you didn't want to fall down the waterfall.
I really did fuck that one up.
You're like, it's just an aquatic illusion.
Yeah, I just made a mistake. I made a little error.
They have the edge-to-edge display on other phones.
Yeah, I think Samsung's got a few phones that
Did Samsung pass them?
I mean, that's a difficult question to ask because Samsung makes so many different phones. It's not just one phone.
And it's also like operating system and preference. Like you can't really say that they pass them, but it's like, here's the thing. Like, I think that Apple gets good about finding an operating system that takes the features and uses them to their best ability. Like Samsung will come out with one feature, like edge-to-edge display, and literally create a phone around the fact that it's edge-to-edge.
And it's on that phone.
And it's, this is the phone if you want that. Over here is the phone if you want this. And it becomes...
Different phones have different versions of Android on them. Stuff like, so that's it's a tough question.
When you prove that Apple is coming out with technology that's already existed, you list all the phones.
I'm mentally multitasking right now. As you guys are talking about all this, I'm looking at the pool on the picture.
He's looking at
There's a picture on the computer.
At a never-ending swimming pool.
You should get an infinity pool in your apartment.
I can't.
Why? Your windows are basically...
They never allow it.
You don't think so?
No.
Hey, you can't call your super and just be like, I'm installing an infinity pool?
No.
On the balcony.
I'm not permitted to do that.
Are there above-ground infinity pools? Can you do that? Yeah, you probably could, right?
Yeah.
I used to hate the fact that you always would worry about bees lurking under the ledge of fucking above ground pools.
Yeah.
It was freaking out. My grandmother had one.
Because the bees get angry because they don't like water, and then they sting.
Yeah, and then you're shaking the whole thing about.
So you worry about weird things.
your white trash worries.
Yeah.
Bees under the above ground pool.
Sure.
What else? What else is so edge to edge?
That's beautiful. That pool.
Okay.
Isn't that nice? Look at that. You
it
want
is
to hang
amazing.
out there?
It is, like, honestly, ever since MTV Cribs, I've been like, one day I want to have an infinity pool. All the rappers had infinity pools. That was a big thing when infinity pools first started coming out. Rappers always had them on MTV Cribs, and you'd never seen anything like it.
Do you think any of those guys? Oh, yeah, a lot of those guys still have their money. I'm seeing, but you think any of those guys who had the money don't now?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them do not have their money. I think that most do not have a lot of money.
Where is that one?
Marina Bay Sands.
Marina
it's like
Bay,
a resort.
Where's
That's
that?
awesome.
Marina Bay Sands and Pelican.
Well, Marina Bay Sands
in Singapore.
Wow, I want to go there and take a dip.
Did you want to go to Singapore for the pool?
Fuck yes.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think a lot of the rappers that had their infinity pools in hindsight probably didn't have the money for them then, and they were renting houses for MTV Cribs.
Wow, that's a good point.
It's phony baloney.
Do you think they did do that, people?
Definitely. I talked to Who Kid about when 50 Cent was on Cribs.
What do you do?
Who Kid was like, it wasn't even our house. Of course it's not their house.
50 Cent had money, though.
Yeah, he had money, but I mean, they all...
That guy made a pretty penny.
Good point. I'm glad your insight has been given to us on that. But yeah, they all rented cars and rented houses.
Just to look flashier?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about rap and rock. Like, nobody in rock gives a fuck what Robert Plant drives. I mean, I know it's just different. The people are from different lives.
Yeah.
But no one cares what fucking any rock star drives, or it just doesn't mean anything to the fans.
In the band Steel Dragon... the lead singer had a Batmobile, and I think the guitarist had the car from Magnum. From
PI.
what? Magnum PI?
Magnum PI? No. You mean Knight Rider?
I don't know if it was Knight Rider.
Magnum PI?
I think it was Magnum PI, and they ended up racing for Pink Slips. So they were obviously. I mean, there are some rock bands that are very that are into their cars. Well, in the '80s. Hair metal was materialistic.
But
in cars
but if it didn't mean anything to the fans, meaning the fans didn't give a fuck.
They still cared about the music.
Yeah, they didn't give a shit about what fucking Sebastian Bach drove. Mm-hmm. No one talked about, like, any of the material shit. What do you think, Rob Halford? Do you think his house looks like?
Right.
Nobody gave a fuck about any of that stuff.
But in rap, like, you need it.
It's part of the music. It's part of what you're talking about, but it gets really redundant. Nobody gives a shit.
The music is about how many things you have and financially how well off you are. So when it comes time to display, you really... your investments need to be in jewelry and homes and cars.
It's just silly.
Just
rapping about other stuff.
Like what?
Whatever it is. Whatever you want to talk about.
Apartheid? I mean, what are you going to do?
Sure. Asher D and Daddy Freddie rapped about apartheid.
I mean...
Old man rap referenced.
Rap about Uber maps.
Yeah. They tell you make a left when you should have went right. Yeah, stretch out that last one.
Really hate that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Really
I hated it as I said it.
The problem is that when you rap about anything besides violence or being well off financially, you sound stupid. You sound corny.
That's not true.
Cheesy.
Eminem raps about his own personal turmoil. That was very interesting stuff. And Tribe Called Quest, the people always liked that because they talked about different stuff and they're positive.
That's true. But
Tupac rapped about changes.
He saw no changes.
That's true.
All he saw was racist faces.
California Love. They talk a lot about...
What are you talking about? California Love, Tupac was literally throwing money at the camera.
I'm talking about the song, not the video.
Well, and also Tupac would oftentimes rap about cops getting jealous when they saw him on his mobile phone.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Still one of my favorite lyrics ever. Because it's true.
It is true.
Yeah, I see it every day.
It is. Yeah, I know you do. Did you see the rapper that's rapping about Harry Potter? I mean, it's very popular.
It's got millions of views, right?
Because Harry Potter is very popular, but it's not like I'm not going to sit around and be like, yeah, that's cool music.
No, I don't think it's the corny. If you're really original and it's good, people like it. I just think people... They're not coming up with anything that's... It's like, all right, you're at the party in the club. We got it. I heard you.
I mean, it's cool because a lot of people can't get in.
Oh, my God.
He can. Endless. A lot of people can't get in.
It's just endless yapping about the fucking party. If Mo-Fi gon' run up on me, then I'ma put my one to the nigga.
I like that he uses the N-word using Harry Potter references.
That's right. If he didn't, we would.
He's wearing like a Harry Potter scarf and has a Harry Potter magic wand.
And he's in like a weird subway tunnel.
Yeah.
Especially because you know how many kids are going to stumble upon this?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Their parents are going to think it's like just fun rap music.
And 3 seconds in.
Yeah. I believe Adrian, I think you can take a guess what train station he's at.
King's Cross?
I believe he might be.
Oh, where's that?
He's probably going to platform 9 3/4.
You think he's going to platform 9 3/4? Is that like a rap place?
They named the platform after my dick?
That's what it said on the invitation.
Not the 9 part. Wait, is that from Harry Potter?
So you think he's at platform 9 3/4?
Well, that's where the Hogwarts Express picks up students.
I've never seen Platform 9 3/4.
Hogwarts.
You don't see it unless you have magic abilities.
What? Well, what am I?
A muggle.
A douche. Oh. Sorry.
Oh, I forgot. I'm a muggle.
Adrian knows a lot.
Adrian is a big Harry Potter fan.
Oh.
Do you like this song? I've never seen that. Lord of the Rings is good. I've never seen Harry Potter.
I'm still want to watch them just because that's my goal now, to get to stop multitasking and begin reading things that I've stopped reading.
Like Harry Potter?
No, I don't want to read the Harry Potter, but just because it's such it's a gigantic series. It's, culturally,
Right.
it's massive. It's like saying, some people don't see Star Wars. It's like, you just see it.
You're on a quest to improve your cultural education.
No, not necessarily cultural, just to not be fucking multitasking and scattered.
And you also still have to rewatch Twins.
I know.
That's true. That's a great one.
I almost watched Big Daddy last night.
Bro. Big Daddy with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, I never saw that.
I wipe my own
It was
ass.
10:30. It's funny.
Yeah, I
Leslie
like
Mann's
it.
in that, right?
Yeah, it's a sweet movie. It's a funny one.
It's fine.
It's probably Adam Sandler's last really good movie.
You don't like his,
And
you
if
didn't
not-
like Spanglish?
That was a little cute scene. No, I didn't like Spanglish. Yeah, I enjoy Big Daddy.
Let me see this scene.
Okay, it's funny.
It's cute.
In
be funnier when you
context.
see it.
Yeah, in context.
What year is that movie? Like 2006?
No, way before that.
Oh, was it 90s?
I think it was before that. I want to say it was.
Sexy Baby says 99.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 99 is right.
He actually said 99.
Because I wonder how old that
Sexy
kid.
Baby?
Oh my God, I forgot about this. Can we hear Sexy Baby voice again?
You want to see it, hear it already? You don't want to
Yeah,
get to
I
it?
missed it. Please.
Let's go back to the Harry Potter.
It's my
rap while we're
favorite
waiting.
thing.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
PUBE, like obey, fit perfectly in the text spot down there.
He really does put on a sexy voice.
That's my favorite thing I've heard in 6 months. This fucking sultry voice.
So you think you're going to watch the Harry Potter movies until you get the references in this song?
I don't care about the references. No, for 2 days.
How'd you stumble upon it?
It was on it's just some video I was watching with something else, and it was just in there, and it was kind of catchy. I'm like, I liked it. I was like 3 or 4 lines of it. I liked the tempo of it, and then I heard the whole
Let's
song
hear it.
once. Have you heard this?
I don't know. Maybe.
Travis.
37 million views.
Yeah, Halsey's big.
Yeah, I know the name.
From Jersey, from Clark, New Jersey.
She was on the VMAs in like a see-through jumpsuit.
Oh, I don't even know what she looks like.
I think I could see her vagina.
Oh, well, let's take
Oh, yeah. Didn't she have longer hair?
for 2 fucking days.
Wow.
Ugh.
You just can't do it.
Hours.
You can't do it.
The whole song or just a specific
It's hard to say.
5-second chunk?
Big parts of it, like "Hello" was in my head too. Just the main part. Hello, right?
You're Adele's Hello song.
Oh, that's a little fat muff.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks
I
good.
was thinking Dirk.
Jeff in Cleveland.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's up, buddy?
So you guys have heard of Lil Dicky, right? He's like the guy who talks about saving money rather than spending money.
Of course, Little Dicky.
So I thought that'd be kind of interesting.
Who's Lil Dicky?
Has Jim ever heard of him?
No.
You never heard of Little Dicky?
I've heard his commercial on this channel a million times.
Yeah, it's a condom commercial,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, he's the next Eminem. He's a big white rapper. You don't think Little Dicky's the next Eminem?
I never
Let's
thought
see.
about it.
Save that money. But I'm just.
You're not a fan of the
silly.
song?
No.
No, I didn't see what
I told you I was in the gym and I saw there's a black guy that works in the
I was
locker
wondering
room.
where those biceps came
You
from.
knew where they came from. Mm-hmm. Let's just look at each other.
just
So I was
finish
in
your
the
story.
gym and there's a black guy in the locker room. And I'm literally listening to a white guy who I had spoken to earlier.
Oh, no.
Talk to him like, yo, man, I just gotta get that money.
No.
Fucking
Is that what he said to
shut
you?
up. No! It's not.
Oh, it's the worst.
When you see this switch, when you can see them do it, from like interaction to interaction, you want to just fucking sit them down and show them a movie of their life. You go, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean,
You're an asshole.
And
Stop it.
I don't even know if people know they're doing it either.
They don't.
I don't think people are doing it intentionally. There's an innate thing that they want to be accepted. And so they just start doing it. It just naturally comes out of them.
Oh, it's the fucking worst.
That they just adopt new ebonics that they've never had in their lives
Same
before.
old, same old. What? You don't say that ever.
Those 2 videos that we watched. Who was the guy that you interviewed and then who kid interviewed?
Oh, I know who you mean.
Oh, Chris Klein.
Oh,
Chris Klein from American Pie.
it was so bad.
See if you can.
When did we talk to Chris? Was I here that day?
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't you. It was me.
Oh, no wonder I didn't remember it. Okay.
Yeah. See if you can do
I
Chris
don't
Klein.
remember if I fake. If I was like, yeah, I like that
Okay.
interview.
All right. Keep that one. Now open in a new tab.
You?
Oh no.
See, I don't even remember the interview. I don't know if I uploaded it or not.
Yeah, she's a little fat.
No, I think you
puss.
did because we played.
Kiss her fucking legs.
We played
Kiss those Jersey legs.
multitasking engine.
That's not multitasking. There's big legs. I'm a man.
Oh, okay. Well, look,
Say it like that.
I like girls.
we all know how Chris Klein speaks. Just look for just YouTube Chris Klein interview. Don't worry about finding mine.
I need an immigration lawyer, by the way. I have a question. I do.
What's the question?
It's a legal question.
But what is it?
A friend of mine wants to come to the U.S.
Okay.
And I'm trying to help.
I feel like this comes up kind of often.
This different person.
This has been a recurring theme since the start of Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Yeah, but it's not the same person, not the same situation.
Right.
It's just somebody who actually wants to just travel to the States.
Does he want to come visit you? This person? A friend that wants to come visit?
They may visit me, they may not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like a tourist thing?
Yeah.
Oh, just
Honestly,
like
a tourist thing.
Okay. All right. You ready?
But there's a but.
But
with the tourist thing, they had a weird arrest one time for smoking pot.
Okay.
Literally, that's it.
Okay.
Will that be a problem? I hear that because if you have any type of drug bust, you can't get into the United States.
Where are they coming from?
Europe.
Okay.
I'll say Europe.
Okay. Yeah, I know Canada is very picky about that.
So is the U.S.
If you have if you have a drunk driving charge, you can't get into Canada.
Wow.
If you're arrested for it, like if you're
Oh, this was no arrest.
Huh.
This was no arrest.
But it's a charge.
I don't even know if it is. There's a $100 fine. It's nothing.
It seems like it should be okay, but I don't know.
Immigration lawyers would know more than I would.
You're right. You're right. Okay, you ready?
I am ready.
This is what you dealt with in the gym.
Oh, no, I'm going to be embarrassed.
Here, and I think we did this years ago, but here's Chris Klein on ABC News.
You look. What? So how do you feel about all that? Are you at this good point in your life?
I'm at a very good point. I think that it will be years from now that I'll be able to reflect more eloquently.
Okay, that's fine. That's enough.
I was enjoying that. That sounds very genuine.
Right. It's not Dave Chappelle with white makeup on. That's Chris Klein.
Yes.
And that's okay. Now, I sat in on this. I saw this with my own eyes. This is Chris Klein and Who Kid.
Get back more moisture into society. Like, there's a lot of absorption going on right now, huh?
Yeah.
The movie came out yesterday. It is the funniest shit ever, man. Like,
oh, cool. Thank you. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. We had so much fun putting it out. Now I'm glad it's out there. I'm glad people are responding. It's all good.
All right. That's enough. Jim.
It makes my head itch.
Isn't it bad?
It makes my head itch.
Isn't it scary
and
bad?
I remember it got much worse.
No, it doesn't. That's the end, right?
No.
It gets worse? No.
That's the very beginning.
Can we hear a little bit more?
Sure.
like I saw the wedding thing, and then I'm like, the American Pie wedding. I didn't see
Yeah,
one.
listen, man, those decisions come from way above my pay grade.
Oh,
You know what I mean? I wish I could sit there and be like, I write them. I write them. I get all the residuals and all that. It was actually my idea originally to make American Pie, but that ain't.
Could you real quick just Google where Chris Klein is originally from?
I'm uncomfortable.
I'm
uncomfortable.
Okay, he's from Illinois.
No, that could be anywhere. It could be Chicago.
German, Irish, English.
Yeah.
The nationality is more where you were raised. If he was raised in Chicago, is he from Cabrini Green?
I'd love to know where the Southern drawl came from.
Well, he
He
was born in Illinois and lived there for 13 years, and then spent his formative years in Nebraska.
Midwest, not the South.
Nebraska's not the South.
No, it's not.
Okay, so that Southern drawl isn't really traditionally.
No, it's not at all.
Okay.
He went to TCU.
TCU?
He was in Texas.
By the Texas Christian University.
By the time he was in college.
Yeah, by that point you supposedly have.
He's an adult.
Do black people notice that when white people do it? Like it has to be embarrassing. Like,
Who kid said he didn't notice?
Maybe when a guy just walks in, it's almost like you're not going to notice it. But do you notice it with someone you know? I should say, a stranger. How would you know? Because you never heard him talk before.
Or I wonder if they see their friend speaking how they actually speak to white people, going like, "Hey, why are you putting on a white accent for those people?"
Yeah. I was just trying to fool the man.
Know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to, speak in they language. Know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It's bad. It's really bad when that happens.
Yep.
The city he's from in Illinois is 90% white.
Oh, Chris.
Paradise, Illinois.
1.3% African American.
Oh, Christopher. What the heck are you doing?
Oh, come on.
What the heck are you doing?
Yo, just be you, son.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep it real.
Like, what do you? I don't. Hillary did it. I mean, it's not exclusive just to one segment of the population. Black people do it too. Like they get called out by other black people.
Yeah.
For fucking. Then again, white people call out that too.
We just did.
Yeah.
Hillary's a little different though. She's got hot sauce in her bag swag.
Hillary wanted to run the free world. I would like a better sense of self from someone who wants to run the free world.
You think so?
Yeah.
At least she knows what team she supports,
Yeah.
At least she knows how to get behind a home team. Let's go to our pal Mark.
Who's our pal? Who is he?
Mark in San Diego?
I don't know, Mark.
Mark.
Sam.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Jim, the viral video, dude, every day more fascinating than the last day, bro. Hey, I was
Yeah, so the campaign is going really well. Thank you very much. So far, 3. Yeah. They're doing really well.
Wait, I'm not...
The viral video campaign, I'm just making viral videos.
Are they going viral? Because I'm not up to date. We played the first one.
They are.
All right, well, I'd like to see. Let's go. You're going to have to scroll down, Adrian.
They're not even, they don't have to play them. I'm just...
Well, I'm just not up to date on them. I'd like to hear the first one again.
And the first one was great.
Well, because we got to put it in context, okay? So let's see. Mark, you're loving these?
Oh, it was the highlight to my day yesterday. Sam.
Good boy.
All right, well, let's see. This is where we started. These are all
Hey guys, really exciting. I'm working on my new viral video series. I just wanted to start off hoping this one gets a whole big bunch of hits. Tomorrow, it's 43 degrees right now. It's going to be 51, which was weird because it was 25 today. And the weather's crazy. Retweet this. I appreciate it.
Okay, that what strikes me as terrible.
No, it's great.
Especially 2 days removed because you realize how unnecessary it is.
I thought it was. I'm prouder now than I was the moment I made it.
Is that right?
I certainly am.
I'm way off, Mark?
Oh, yeah, dude, he's showing the duality of where it's so... You don't get it, bro.
Okay, this is a tweet that came out 2 days ago that said, great news, Viral Video 2 is ready. Okay, well, Viral Video 2 is ready. The implication there is that you spent some time crafting this video.
Yeah, just know what I was going to do, where I was going to do it, what I was going to say, the emotion I was going to give, the feelings I was going to convey. I mean, I could talk about it for an hour.
Right. And just making sure it's ready for public viewing.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's see it in its ready state.
Hey guys, viral campaign video number 2. It's going great so far. A whole bunch of buzz started. How about you? The salad, as you can see, trusty salad. And so far this place has been forgetting my water lately, and so I said, please don't forget the water, and got the water. Fucking crazy, right? Please retweet.
That's terrible.
That's a great video.
Trusty salad?
Yeah. You know, like
stuttering over the first half of it?
That's what they like about my viral campaign is it's organic.
Yeah, and why? How is it a viral campaign? What's it a campaign for?
To be viral. How easy it is.
Just to show. Mm-hmm. All right, well, this one's brand new. This one says viral video number 3. Let's get busy retweeting, folks. Okay.
Hi, day 3 of the viral video campaign, which is going really well. Warmer today. It was cold, and now it's a lot better. I just hit an X bar.
The phony sincerity on these videos drives me fucking up a wall.
Ooh.
When you start going when you go warmer today, and then you look like you look above you and to the side than it was yesterday, as if you're just thinking of it.
There was something. Well, I am.
You're not.
I am. I don't go into it with any. I'm telling you, as a man,
I've never seen a less
who makes viral videos. He's just happened.
He's pretending to be pensive and artistic right now.
I am pensive.
There is nothing authentic about these videos.
Go back a little bit. You missed it.
You called it a trusty salad.
Yeah. What would you call it? The trusty salad. I did forget my water.
I told him not to let you forget your water.
Thank you. Check this out. Check it. Yo, y'all at home, check this.
Check it.
Pain, which is going really well. Warmer today. It was cold, and now it's a lot better. See, watch. An X bar, RX bar, X bar. That's why people like these, because they're real. You know, I don't edit. RX bar, I got some in my teeth. And I better shave, so I look kind of unshaven. But right now, it looks like I'm laying in a spa chair, but I'm not. I'm home. So it's just viral video number 3. So please retweet.
That's my favorite part.
It's just, especially, you know what's the worst? Like, how useless these videos are?
They're not useless. They're getting retweets.
You said, I need to shave because I'm starting to look unshaven.
I am.
How the fuck else would you look if you hadn't shaved? There's a million different words you could use, but you had to use the word shave in the word to describe you not shaving.
Hey, look, people campaign for viral videos. We all want viral video. I just decided to make some.
And this is your campaign?
Yeah, it's happening.
Working.
It is working.
And
that's less than 24 hours old.
Wow. And it already has 1,300 retweets. It's really not bad.
People are loving it.
I guess so. Mark,
let's get the ads going.
Mark, I appreciate you for bringing that to the show, and I'm glad that that's fueling you.
Maybe today I will. Mark, thank you. Maybe today I'll address the black people, white people who change their diction to make black people like them and how fake it is and stop doing it.
Wow. So actual content.
Yeah, why not?
That'll be something new for the videos.
Just be yourself. You don't need to change the way you talk for black people to like you.
Well, that's kind of what you do in the videos because you just kind of, it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you know, organic is very important.
Oh, he just slapped his chest and pointed.
Nothing wrong with that.
As if to say, what up, dog?
So what? Don't let Aid forget that Sam danced. You don't like that?
It's great.
Thanks, buddy.
Mark, I'm glad you're enjoying this.
Me and Mark are having a fucking proverbial ball over here.
Hey, guys, the reason I'm calling, everybody knows, for all things sport, call Jim and Sam show. What do you guys think about the scumbag ownership of the San Diego Chargers folding up shop, heading out of town 100 miles north to a proven football bust of a town, L.A.? You know, they could have stayed another year.
Fuck L.A. Sorry, buddy, go ahead.
But they left, 60,000 people every week to some dark match jobber of a stadium that holds like 25,000 people. You know, it sucks. They're scumbags. I was pissed until the viral video came out. Yes, thank you.
Let me ask you.
Thank you for that, bro.
Let me ask you about the Chargers because L.A. they had the fucking Rams, they had the Raiders. Do they have a team right now or no?
LA, yeah, the Rams.
So now they're getting a second team. LA can't even support one team effectively.
And the Rams are terrible. They're first year. They're moving because the city of San Diego wouldn't pay for a new stadium.
The city won't pay for a new stadium, right?
I saw a similar controversy on Any Given Sunday, so I get it.
Yeah, and the NFL has plenty of cash to build them a new stadium, but they won't.
Remember when Cameron Diaz was trying to get some money for the stadium?
They don't want to spend their own money.
How about the owners spend your own money? Should the city do it? Is it good? It is kind of good for the city when they build it.
Here's the thing.
So they voted it down.
It's a lot of taxpayer money.
Yeah.
Oh, people said no.
Yeah.
Okay,
for like
so you know what?
The Islanders
over
moved.
a decade.
But is the owner a scumbag if he was willing to stay? Especially when you see the Cowboys have $1 billion stadium, the Chargers are not the Cowboys financially. But other teams are getting them, and they prove to be moneymakers. And the people say, no, we don't want it. And then the owner goes, okay, well, I gave you the option. Now I'm going to move. What do they want the owner to do?
We don't want to pay for it.
I think sports fans need to just come to the realization that the only people that are loyal to the city or the team are the fans. It's a business. And so, like, the idea that that's why he's called an owner, because he's just trying to make money. They could give two shits. If they think they're going to be able, like, is it a good move? I don't know. I don't know anything about football. I watch Any Given Sunday. I get all my information from Oliver Stone. But
I haven't seen that.
It's great.
I know. I heard. Pacino plays, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're out of order. You're out of order. You're out of order.
You're thinking of
Injustice for All.
Injustice for All.
Yes, I was.
I love that you quote that movie so much.
It's a great fucking movie.
I know. I've seen it a bunch of times.
That movie made me want to be a lawyer. I love that movie so much.
You're not a lawyer. That's not a good reference.
But no, the point is, that was what I wanted to do up until high school. I wanted to be a comedian, but I was like, that'll never happen. So I was like, I'm a lawyer. That movie made me want to do it.
But like,
I said to myself, hold on, I'm going to be Arthur Kirkland.
And you became?
The viral video king.
but like, owners are going to do whatever they think is going to make the most money, and players are going to go where they're going to make the most money. It's just like, it is what it is. It's not. That's why when fans are like get loyal to the team and refer to them as us, you almost want to be like, dude, they're not there for you. They're not there for you.
Yeah, but LA's just such a horse shit town, and I hope they crash and burn. And
good. Yeah, and you should.
A total disaster.
That is the best way to look at it. They're leaving.
Yeah, you should hope they crash and burn. Maybe come over and support Big Blue, baby.
BLEW. Yes, they did.
Hey, Sam, something you might know about. Hasn't this season of Total Divas been so dope?
Look, Mark, we're not here to recap Total Divas. Everybody knows I'm not going to recap. Am I going to watch Total Divas? Sure. Am I going to recap it on the radio? I don't think so. We're not here to do that.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
Do it at the watch party.
Thank you, Mark. We're not having a watch party. We're not doing any of that. But I'll tell you, we are going to get into more football later on today's show.
Yes, we are.
Because Charlie Ebersol.
Why isn't Dick in?
He didn't. Because Charlie directed the movie.
Oh, he directed. Okay.
Yeah, Charlie Ebersol.
Because Dick Ebersol's in the movie.
Yes, he is. Charlie Ebersol directed a movie called 30 for 30. This is the XFL, and it's great. It's the 30 for 30 doc about the XFL and what happened in the season and what a disaster it was.
Oh, I remember. I was a part of it.
Were you?
Well, not really.
Yeah.
I was just joining the Opie and Anthony squad and they were the pre-show.
They didn't mention that though.
They got one mention.
On the 30 for 30?
Not by name.
Oh, right.
But Bob Costas, I say, in the pre-show was an embarrassment.
Oh, that's
disaster.
right. Yeah, watching that 30 for 30. Bob Costas, not a fan of the XFL, was he?
No, and I thought that he was a bit of a dick to Vince. Like the arrogance that the NFL has, like you guys are fucking Shakespeare. It's like, you started one. I mean, the XFL, I think they handled it terribly the way they started. I think Vince fucked up.
By the way, the NFL has stolen every idea in
some
terms
of the camera stuff,
production.
Yeah. And Jerry Jones kind of admits how innovative they were.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones seems very, very much.
Jerry Jones and Vince are friends now.
Yeah, it seems like that. I get it.
But so it's this 30 for 30 about the XFL and what a disaster it was. So Charlie Ebersol, who's Dick Ebersol's son, who directed it, is going to come in. Of course, Dick Ebersol was a big part of the XFL in the documentary because Dick Ebersol helped make the deal happen where NBC became half owners with Vince McMahon.
Is Rod Smart here too? He hate me?
Yeah. Rod, no. we'll call him he hate me. I don't know who this guy, whoever Smart is, but I know he hate me. I was an XFL fan. I have every XFL game on VHS tape.
That's very necessary, too. The amount of room...
Including the $1 Million Game. I have all the XFL games
was
on
that
tape.
a sold-out game?
They didn't sell it. That was towards the end of the season. The popularity had waned by that point.
And the first week, was it 54 million viewers?
It was the highest-rated Saturday show, I think, maybe in network TV history. And it became the lowest-rated show.
By the end.
Not Saturday show, lowest-rated thing that had ever been on television.
Yeah, it's weird.
It got the lowest ratings in television history.
I didn't realize it was that.
Yes.
It absolutely died. A season 2 would have never worked. But, I mean, you never know.
I would have taped the game. And let me tell you...
So many things flop originally and then build back up. If they would have had better football after a year...
Well, that was the problem, right? It wasn't a problem for me because I didn't give a shit about football.
Right.
But football fans were like, this sucks.
The football wasn't good.
Right. But, like, they used to they would do the big game on Saturday night. And then they would have 2 games on Sunday, one in the afternoon and one in the evening. And sometimes the afternoon and evening games would overlap on 2 different channels. My parents, it would drive them crazy. I would be running 2 VCRs in the house, taping both Sunday games to make sure that I had the whole season on VHS.
Your OCD is exhausting.
It was when I was trading tapes online. I wanted to make sure.
I got in trouble for that.
That's not when I was trading. Oh, D in Florida brings up a great point from something we were talking
about. Fucking in my head still.
You're still doing it, huh?
It's like smoke. I'm not thinking of it, but it's there. It's like when you smell smoke in the room, like when a fire has been there, but it's no longer there. That's what it reminds me of.
I wish I smelled smoke in this room right now.
Me too. I'm touching my ass cheeks, and they are hot.
That's what's smoking.
You don't like when I call you Aid?
Aid. D in Florida.
Guys, are we forgetting about the time a certain sweet boy radio host adopted a hokey British accent when talking to Ozzy Osbourne?
I did think of that, but when I was hypocritically vilifying someone, I did think of that. I will say this in my own defense, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
You were right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ass.
Mm-hmm.
It was addressed immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fool. I
but
laughed
we never
about
brought it up again after.
You know, it's funny. I do remember it being brought up again. Yeah, and I brought it up on the Tonight Show and made fun of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't.
You didn't hide.
No, and it was just a moment of being nervous, and I don't even think it was British. I think it was because my mouth was closed.
It's definitely British.
Yeah, it was British. I mean, I was just listening to it. It's definitely British.
Even better. Wait, you were just listening to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll check that out. We don't have the rights to play any Opie and Anthony audio anymore.
No, yeah, it's the same company.
No, but still,
you know what?
Lawsuit.
Let's go Rebel Radio on this.
Nah,
fuck
guys,
the lawsuits.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay, so you just say that you left the
fucking Bo Jackson said.
What are you doing?
We'll talk
football.
It's a football story.
Football.
We'll talk to He Hate Me about that. Let's find out if Jim has ever changed his voice.
Football.
How are you? You've lost so much weight.
Yeah, Jimmy lost a lot of weight.
Just going to the gym. Just going to the gym and eating better.
Your mouth was wide fucking open, you liar.
No, it was not.
You were not clenched teeth.
No, not clenched teeth. No, not clenched teeth. I meant to say that my mouth was going to the gym. Just going to the gym and eating better. See?
Why'd you adopt it was much clearer than that.
Okay.
And why'd you adopt a Scottish accent even when you did the teeth thing? No, you were trying to prove something that's not true.
I panicked. Ozzy recognized me that I lost.
You had a brogue.
Picture an idol not only recognizing you, but realize you dropped weight.
If the Undertaker came in and was like, Sam, you look great.
Sam, you put a little, or you lost a little weight, or Sam, you look different.
I go like this. Thank you.
Because
the Undertaker.
Like? Yeah. Shawn Michaels, by the way, I really liked him. Mm-hmm. We had to cut some of the replay because we went over. I hope we didn't. Did we lose that fucking what?
I didn't cut anything from Shawn Michaels.
Not Shawn Michaels, but did we lose the thing about the guy, your crumb bum?
No.
Okay, I want you crumb bum, and you're a crumb on my thing.
Okay.
But nothing around it.
Hey,
crumb bum.
Get it on his soundboard, Aid. You crumb.
Get it on there.
You crumb bum.
You crumb bum coward. How great was that guy? How great was Frank Rizzo?
Adrian's a lush.
Yeah, you're lush. I could tell by looking at you, you're a lush.
I was a cop my whole life. I know a lush.
I
bet you that's where the Frank Rizzo Jerky Boys thing came from.
Yeah, it's Frank.
Frank Rizzo, because that is how he talked.
And he also did. Frank Rizzo Jerky Boys kind of threw out insults the way the real Frank Rizzo did. John and George. Oh, John, you just hung up. I was going to go to you.
Ooh.
Corey in Rockland. Mm-hmm. Corey, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, buddy.
Did you guys see last night's show called My Kitchen Rules? It was on Fox, and it has Dice and his wife on it.
No, but
who's smoking, his wife.
I saw his wife is very hot. I saw the promo for it.
Me too.
And what did he say about Wolfgang? Dice is so silly.
Dice, number one, the show is a disaster with the other people on it. But Dice is the only person who seems like he's just being Dice or himself. Everybody else wants to be a character or a personality.
They're thinking that it's going to be their break or something. Yeah, listen to.
Wait, is he actually in the show or just on one episode?
No, he's in the show. It's like a.
It's not. I thought it was like one episode.
I love him.
It's like a celebrity cooking reality show.
Who are the other people?
Brandy, Ray J.
He's going to dominate.
Didn't I see Lance Bass in there?
Lance Bass.
Okay. He's going to dominate every moment of every conversation.
I had no idea.
Lance Bass and his mom.
When I saw it, I thought it was like every week you cook with a different celebrity. Not it was celebrities competing in a cooking show.
Right. It's celebrity couples or teams competing in a cooking show to have a dinner party type of thing, too.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. So we'll definitely watch over the weekend and talk about it on Monday.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I want to watch the whole season now.
Dice had one great line. He's like, I like to eat the vegetables because, I only get my vegetables if they're organized. And his wife goes, no, you mean organic.
Let's look at the preview if there's anything there.
It's a great show.
Tonight we have my world famous lasagna, burrata, everything's tomato salad,
shrimp and grits. What's interesting about it is that
that the naked chef
actually rate their food.
Disgusting. The shrimp was overcooked.
This is unreal.
You're dealing with celebrities.
You already liked it. This is unreal.
He's such a silly, stupid ass.
You got to pause if we're talking. Yeah, it's just enjoying. Like everybody talking all at once? Yeah, this is unreal.
I will see
and
this for Andrew.
And they showed the preview for next week where Dice gets mad at somebody for looking at his wife's tits.
It's hard not to. They are lovely.
Are they?
Oh, she hot. Fuck.
It's like everybody else on that show is a disaster, or they're so fake or made up. Like Naomi Judd is one of the contestants on the show with her husband, who was a backup singer for Elvis. She's just so old, so plastic, and she looks like she wears a really bad red wig.
Mm-hmm.
And her lipstick looks like she's like an old lady who wears like the wrong color, and she shakes while she puts it on.
Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be my new show.
It's honestly, it's unbelievable. And if it wasn't for Dice, the show would have been canceled halfway through.
I'm doing a new show.
Wait. I can't wait. Thanks, buddy. You're
called
doing
Kitchen Jocularity. This is jokes that you tell with your partner in the kitchen.
Like, first of all, whoever introduced the word jocularity into your vocab.
Word. I remember the first person I remember saying jocularity? Mrs. Vivaldo.
It's true. Of course, it must have been Mrs. Vivaldo.
She was my fourth or sixth grade teacher. And I remember her saying jocularity. I don't know why, what story she was talking about.
And it just stuck with you, just like the way it sounded?
Yep. No, I didn't like it. I hated the word. Thank you very much. Ooh, mustard.
Enjoy your mustard and egg.
Little hat, little corduroys.
It's not even cold outside. He's wearing his little beanie.
Yeah, in case his little head gets chilly.
It does.
That spot in the middle is so delicate.
Yeah, his little pinhead gets chilly. He's got a small one, doesn't he?
He has a pinhead.
He does. We could call him Derek the Pinhead.
Yo, you a pinhead, cuz.
Why'd you say that? You say it like that.
I thought I saw someone from Shade walking by.
Oh, so you wanted them to think you were cool?
Be cool.
My show right now, I have my Tuesday show, which is Celebrity Apprentice. I watch it because I watch wrestling on Monday night. So on Tuesday afternoon after the show, I watch the Celebrity Apprentice. And I was very disappointed. First of all, Arnie is not doing new things every week. You know, he did Get to the Chopper, and then he said, hasta la vista, baby. And then the third person gets eliminated, and Arnold goes, get to the chopper.
Yeah, there's only a couple.
There's way more than a couple.
No, there's not.
He hasn't even done the tumor one yet.
Why would he?
It's not a tumor.
I know, but what if they do have a tumor?
And
They're not going to do tumor jokes on television?
They should.
I know.
And I'll tell you this.
We'll get you, Red.
He's much worse in the boardroom than Donald Trump was.
I'm sure he is. He's not used to it.
He's not that great.
He's the governor. Air quotes.
He makes people call him the governor in the boardroom.
I'm not interested in this show at all.
At all.
I went to Carrie Keegan's book release party.
How come I wasn't invited?
I actually thought you would be there.
What a piece of shit Carrie Keegan is.
She just texted me an invite.
She didn't invite me.
Does she have your number?
No.
She sent me a text. That's how I got it.
What a slut.
I was like, yo, mama. But I went, I was in and out in 10 minutes. I had to go to the comedy store.
I would have been your plus one.
I didn't need one. You could have just walked in. There's a list. I'm like, really? But it was nice to see her. I just wanted to be surprised. That's where I took that picture of the bathroom that said straight, gay, trans, anyone but Trump.
Oh.
That was where I took that. That was her thing.
So was there any celebrities there?
Yeah.
Who?
And he was in and out in 10 minutes.
That was it, huh?
Yet, make note, thumbs pointing at Jimmy.
There is none of her Apprentice castmates were there?
No.
Oh, my goodness. What a disappointment. Wow, this is what happens. She gets all exclusive. She could have had the last professional broadcaster there.
She did.
No, she
My
did.
name.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm the last pro broadcaster.
Don't say it like that. Don't ruin my name.
The last pro broadcaster.
That sucks.
Last pro broadcaster, Jim Norton.
I like that.
You do?
Like it?
Yeah, that's good.
Jim's a probo.
That's my new thing. I'm the last pro broadcaster.
Right. pro bow and a homo, so it works.
Hey, that's very,
well.
very probophobic. Being cute.
You still like it, Travis? You still going with this?
No, I'm off the bus now.
No, you might be off that bus, but I'm the last pro broadcaster, Jim Norton.
Yeah, I guess.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Yeah, no,
It is.
right.
Aid?
That's
Okay.
you.
What's that sexy voice in there that just said, hold on?
Typing away.
I know. Peck.
Yeah, but it sounds...
Peck.
There's a subtlety about it.
What's your fantasy? Peck.
Yeah.
Want somebody with a pinhead and little hands? Peck. Pecking away in there like a little hen.
What kind of expression did he do when he heard Jim just call him a pinhead with little hands?
Sultry smile.
Is that right? I'll bet he likes that.
Yeah.
Is he in there blushing a little bit with that sultry smile?
He has a smile like Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah, he does. If Alicia Silverstone had a pinhead.
Teeny little pinhead. He's a twerp.
He is a twerp, isn't he? Well, here's the thing.
Sexy twerp.
That's fuck yeah, he's a sexy twerp.
He's a little wiener.
He is a little wiener. Little cocktail Frank.
And for some reason, until he got here, he had no idea he was a little wiener. He thought that he wasn't a wiener.
No.
I said to him the other day that he's kind of a natural, he's in a position where he's a bit of a natural born, like, D-Bag, did I say natural born loser? I don't want to be too harsh.
I don't think that was the phrasing, but it was the implication.
Right, like just that you were in that position. You're a natural born sub.
I hope there's some more sexy D-Bag audio.
Oh, there is.
Really?
Yes, we're putting it together for you.
Ooh.
But
Adrian
D-Bag
did a good job after the show.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to hear one. I want to hear one.
D-Bag said he wasn't a natural born sub until he got here.
Can I hear one?
Which Tim, I'm sure Troy's listening.
Is there just one?
Yeah, he's whipping it up real quick.
Moment of his sexiness.
Make
just
sure
one.
Make sure he's just.
I don't want to blow the bit. I'm craving. That's my.
One sound clip?
Just one.
Just one
new piece of sexy audio.
I mean, if you want an old piece to hold you over.
Just a quick old piece, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
PUBE, like obey, fit perfectly in the text spot down there.
Fucking so great.
Did anybody tell him he was sexy before he was on the show?
Everyone.
That is so great. The text spot down there. That's when you're trailing your finger along someone's tummy. That's how you say that. Little text spot down there.
You think he's going down his happy trail below his belly button and going to
text
spot down there? And I think your name's on it. Oh. How are we doing, Aid?
I'm going to pull it up here. Just raw.
Okay. Just raw. Yeah, just pull it up raw.
Why don't you just give him my soundbite?
I put it in raw too. Pull it up raw. Raw's best.
How's he reacting to this right now?
He loves it. He's smiling.
He's making himself a little Calgon bath.
He's such a fucking strange dude.
He sure is.
Like he gets offended by the lightest stuff, and then this one he likes this one.
Yeah.
Hey, they said I was sexy.
Hey, bitch vocals, what are you doing?
You pinhead with an unnecessarily sexy voice.
Yeah.
hey, pinhead with unnecessary sultriness.
Yeah.
Now, this is organic, by the way. This wasn't written for him.
Okay.
This is response to a question that I asked.
What do I think urine tastes like? I'll tell you what it tastes like.
Oh, God damn it.
Slightly acidic and delicious. What do I think urine tastes like? I'll tell you what it tastes like. Warm, slightly acidic, and delicious.
What a molester voice.
I'll tell
he
you
has a
this.
molester voice.
Adrian played me everything that he recorded yesterday, and Adrian wrote a bunch of stuff out. And then he had Derek just do some off-the-cuff stuff. The off-the-cuff stuff is so fucking creepy.
That's why I was sitting there
Hold on. You
concentrate on the off-the-cuff stuff, not the written stuff.
yeah, I know. Do you want one more?
So that's coming from
This
a
is
weird
not written.
place.
What's this from?
This part is written.
Okay.
No, I mean, I wanted. Is there a way I wanted to get old clips of him, like other moments he's been on the show. Were there other sexy moments that we never caught? Like I was saying, go back over some old Derek mic appearances and grab some sexy moments.
You're assuming that I marked down Derek's mic appearances.
No, but I'm saying there might be some where he chimed in, or he might remember when.
Yeah, spend the weekend going through old shows.
Or just if you find,
see if Derek has been sexy in the past.
there's got to be some
I'm
old
sure he
Derek
has,
audio.
if
I
you
want to
didn't
grab
notice.
like.
Do you want to hear one more line from the...
I'm looking for sexy gems.
Okay. I think this one's pretty good. Hold on.
You think it's a gem?
I mean, yeah.
We want
This
something.
baby's
We
not
want
in.
something that's like. We want something cool. We want something sexy.
This is sexy.
This baby's not interested in formula. Feed me some seed. This baby's not interested.
Derek, why would you say that?
He's coming around.
You fucking soft-voiced pederast.
That was a line that was written for me.
I know, but why would? Why
There's
would?
no D's in written.
Yeah, apparently I do that a lot.
Written.
I can't say button properly.
Just yes, you can.
Say
Button.
button. No, not button. Button.
I usually say button.
I know
you
because
do.
you don't work on yourself.
Pump it up.
Yeah,
Joe Button.
Yeah, Joe Button. Like, you got to work on yourself, D-Bag. If you know you're saying letters wrong all the time, just change it. All you do is sit there and be like, yeah, that's been pointed out to me. It's unacceptable for that to be pointed out to you and you don't change it. I speak the King's English. You should too. If somebody wrote for you that you ate seed, why would you read it?
Just being a team player.
I bet you are. What are you thinking right now? Say something. Just say something like that. I want the sexiness. Did the piss thing, that really did come out of your brain?
Yeah, it was a little piss improv.
I could tell. It sounds different. The one that Adrian wrote sounds different from the one that Derek just did organically. When Derek does it organically, it sounds sexier. It has to be, you have to pose questions to him.
Okay.
And get this answer. So, D-Bag, like, sexually, what's on your mind right now? Don't laugh. It's cool.
This is what happened yesterday, by the way. There was like,
stop handling the fucking microphone. I hear every move you're making.
It became such a process just to get the line.
Ow! Hey, Derek.
Hey, Sam.
How you doing this morning?
Feeling quite sexual. Slightly hungry, but more sexual.
Probably more hungry.
Probably, yeah, it sounds more hungry. What are you hungry for?
Some sweet loving.
That's his instinct.
He's the worst.
He really is the worst.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to say, why don't you put that cum right here and tap your lower lip?
Why don't you put that cum right here?
That looks really bad, dude.
It's awful.
That's really awful.
But I like it to be...
Why don't you say this? My head is small enough to fit all the way up there.
My head is small enough to fit all the way up there.
You know what he is? He's a mouse.
He is a mouse.
He looks like remember when Abbott and Costello were cartoons? Hey, Babbitt! the cartoon Abbott and Costello, he looks like one of them. Little mousy fella.
He is.
Mousy boy.
He's a little mouse.
Ugh, little mousy boy.
So you didn't get teased much before you came on this show?
No, I mean, I've had my balls busted before.
Right.
Yeah.
But you weren't made out to be submissive? Do you like your balls getting busted?
Mm-hmm. Not particularly.
Would you bust somebody's balls? Why don't you tell me about it?
Yeah.
Busting balls?
Oh, the giggle makes it worse.
I hate the giggle.
The giggle is the fucking worst.
Yeah.
Tell me about busting balls.
When people are bad boys, they deserve their balls to be busted.
That was so bad, dude. That was so creepy.
Yeah.
Ugh. I think
You don't like it?
No, you got to leave. Wait. From the microphone, I mean.
I'm going to go sit down.
Yeah, go sit down.
I don't like him over here. He smells like cigarettes.
Oh my gosh.
He smelled like cigarettes.
She tasted like cigarettes.
Sick baby tasted like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Sick baby, you can't sit here. His he read the seed thing, you know, the tasting seed or whatever he wrote, and then this was his. Is it what you said it is on the audio?
I asked him, how do you eat pussy, and this is his response.
Okay.
When I eat pussy, first I run my hand down real slow, then I drag it back up and just tickle that little spot a little bit. When I eat pussy.
What's he talking about?
He doesn't know what little spot.
Do you think
I can picture his hand clumsily dragging over a pair of lips.
Do you think he's good at cunnilingus?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
I think he's talking about balls.
Yeah. I don't think he knows what eating pussy means.
I like to put my mouth right on that Vas Devrins.
I bring my finger right down that little thing. That special spot. What's he talking about?
I have a feeling he's a terrible pussy eater.
You think so?
No, yeah, he's a good guy, but he's a bad pussy eater.
I like Derek, for the record.
Yeah, we all like Derek.
Derek, come back.
Pussy well.
Come back to the microphone, Derek. I got to ask you a question.
Yes. Yes, sir.
No, I don't need the sexy voice anymore.
Okay, what's
I'm
up?
so
No, I like yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like yes, sir.
Yes, sirs.
Oh, yes, sirs. I like that's naughty. Ooh.
Ew.
Do you
Gross.
Do you perform? You have a significant other, right?
Yes, I do.
How long have you been dating her?
A little over a year.
And she's a piece of ass, right?
I wouldn't refer to her that way. She's a very beautiful woman.
Good for you. But she is out of your league.
Every woman I've ever dated has been out of my league. It's
Excuse
astonishing.
me, fucking Mr. Pimp of the Century.
Mister, I use my personality to fucking bat out of my league.
So, do you perform cunnilingus on your girlfriend?
Yeah.
How often?
Most times we have sex. I don't know.
That could be the most vague response.
Maybe
once in a blue moon, I guess.
Maybe every 2 weeks I'll go down.
Go down what?
Every 2 weeks?
Yeah, no. I mean, maybe not every time I have sex.
Once every 2 weeks, I'll go downtown.
So do you how about analingus?
Do I eat ass? I've dabbled, but it's not a routine thing.
Okay. Oh, so you put your tongue in there?
I have.
Do you catch any particles?
No particles.
Did she like it?
Yes.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
Are you good at performing cunnilingus?
I actually think I am, to be honest. But
Okay.
you guys are going to dispute that. But I've never had any complaints.
Does she? Well, no. Everyone says it. Well, they never complain.
No.
Boo! Boo! you never. It's like, oh, you like I'm eating your pussy? So wait, you lick it and she has an orgasm?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had
Did you bring her to
customers.
climax?
Yes, she reaches peak climax.
What's peak climax mean?
Peak climax?
Peak climax?
She's never climaxed once.
You don't think so?
No.
You think?
All right, finger in the booty.
Oh! Adrian is a finger in the booty ass bitch.
Ooh.
But I made her come.
Oh, he said he put those fingers in the booty ass
Well,
and made
you
her
made
come.
a face, Derek. What do you think?
I'm sure he did. She said I don't think Mary Jean would lie, so I believe her when she says it.
That's a great retort. You really fucking nailed him with that
Yeah,
one.
oof, easy. You probably did make her come, stud.
Adrian,
Whoa,
are you
home
crying
run.
over there? That was a real tough comeback.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you probably did. So?
Yeah, she wouldn't lie. You probably did fuck her good. Whoa, hammering him.
Yeah. D-bag, you started strong and really, really ended out weak. That's what makes us feel like you're probably not bringing anybody to climax. It's a good, strong start.
Yeah.
And
Not a
then
strong finish.
Not a strong
Your tongue probably gets very tired very fast.
Let's see a little tongue exercise.
Just you want me to just tongue the microphone?
No, I just want to watch you lick. Lick fast. Yeah, he's got the right movement.
He does have the right
He does.
movement. It's a lot better than hot dogs.
That's much better. No, he's put a...
Oh.
Travis, you like this?
I do. Yeah.
That's so gross.
Did you hear it?
Of course I could hear it.
Yeah. Through it.
Is it going up on Snapchat?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
And
if you follow us on Instagram and Snatch Chat, Jim and Sam Show on social media, you can see what we just saw. I don't know why you would subject yourself to it. That may be the weakest advertisement for a follow of all time, but you can see that. You can also see Jim's viral video campaign on our Twitter
A
account.
lot
and
of
all
people
those
say I'm a
places.
viral video sensation.
Nobody has said that. So, maybe Mark in San Diego.
A viral video sensation.
We should take a break because we're going to have the XFL guys in here in a few minutes.
Yep. Mike and Mike
Friday
are breaking up. Are you upset?
No.
Me neither. I never listened to him.
Couldn't be less upset. It's not. Yeah, Mike and Mike is just like the longest running show after Mike and the Mad. Like Mike and the Mad Dog is the show.
So what are they doing? They're on ESPN, or one guy's staying and one guy's leaving?
Yeah, one guy's getting a show.
Yeah, one guy's going to TV.
Right.
And then I think they're going to pair the other mic up with somebody else.
Oh, no, are they getting fired? They just didn't get along?
No, I think that ESPN's just restructuring, and they're like, hey, Mike, what is it, Greenberg?
Yeah.
Greenberg, yeah.
They're going to, like, bring him over to TV. Because, I mean, they're doing a lot of shit over at ESPN. They're not re-signing people. Berman's, out of the picture.
So wait, they're a team and they're just keeping one and fucking throwing the other one out?
Yeah.
I would
That's
imagine
shitty.
they couldn't have wanted to maintain their partnership.
I don't know. That's a really successful
Mike and Mike
show.
are pretty well known, man.
Yeah,
That's
but
a-
Mike and the Mad Dog were also really successful.
Yeah, but they were national. They were on TV. Like, their radio show was simulcast on...
It's just a
Mike
weird,
and Mike?
Yeah.
It's a surprise for ESPN then to just because the bosses wanted to separate a successful partnership.
I wonder if they were ready to break up anyway. That might have been a ready.
That's what I think.
I think it's the money thing.
Because ESPN's losing so much money.
ESPN's just draining money.
Well,
Are they really?
Yeah.
let me tell
They
you
lose
something.
subscribers. That Sports Center studio that they put out last year was like billions of dollars. It's
Why do you, I wonder why? One reason I think they lose is it's such fucking pussy-ish. They keep firing people. We're terribly sorry. They fucking apologize.
They're
for
also not
everything.
re-signing people. I mean, they're letting people go.
Right. I think that ESPN is going to come back, and what's going to bring them back is 30 for 30. This is the XFL. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the one thing they need.
It's the best thing on ESPN.
That is a great series.
The 30 for 30 series. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It's great because guys like Sam who don't even watch sports
I watch
can
all of
watch
them.
all of them.
All of them. All of them. I love all the
Because
30
they're just
for 30.
great stories.
What about guys like Sam?
Yeah, I mean, cool hip guys.
Thank you. I'm not one of those.
You hear Sick Baby laughing in there?
Yeah, of course he is.
He's laughing. He gets
He
it.
gets it.
Yeah. He's hoping he can get a suck for himself. That's why he's laughing.
That's oh my god. That's what me and my friends would do. We would count sucks.
What? So you had an equal amount of sucks?
Yeah.
Or were the older kids 2 for me, 1 for you?
No, it's equal amount of sucks.
How many sucks in a
I remember 20, like 1, 2. You'd count the sucks.
Oh my!
And I remember my friend wouldn't give me my sucks, and I was annoyed.
So you were like,
I
look,
got duped.
Yeah,
I went for it was bait and switch.
you can't give all your sucks up front.
Well, that's how you did it.
So how many sucks? You'd give like 20 sucks, and then he'd be like, I'm not giving you this.
He wouldn't do it. I remember that. Wow.
So you just sit there with a boner?
That's right. He still with me.
Oh.
I didn't know if I had a boner.
I bet you did. You fucking
I don't know if
weirdo.
I can get one at that age. It was too young.
The things that just randomly.
One day,
are
I'm
revealed.
telling you, the fact that conversation was like, oh my god, we used to count sucks.
We did.
That's why I love this radio show, and that's why I think everybody needs to listen to it, because one day we will get to the, oh my god, I was molested. That moment will happen on the air. God damn it, Travis.
What? I'm just doing my job.
I saw you point to D-Bag to mark that to isolate it.
I knew you were going to say something.
God damn it. We should go to break before I say more stupid things. We'll be back with Charlie Ebersol, and he hate me, I hope.
And he will.
Happy Friday, everybody.
And we're hearing that our guests are running late because they're stuck in traffic. This might explain why 6th Avenue was locked down today.
Yes.
I didn't know this until just now, but a cop named Stephen McDonald, who was, I remember when it happened. I didn't remember all the details. He was shot in the throat. And I guess he was paralyzed below the neck. And he died, unfortunately, and 30 years ago. He publicly forgave. The guy who shot him, his name was Siobhan Jones. And Stephen McDonald publicly forgave him. And he was like an ambassador of peace. He was a really good guy. But it's I'm reading the
article. How do you forgive somebody that paralyzed you
I
from
don't
the
know,
neck
dude.
down? That is amazing.
The only thing I can guess is that it's the only way you can live without that fucking bitterness is to let it go. But
I guess that's so important to not live angrily.
Yeah, especially when you can't move anything.
You can do, yeah.
Your fucking frustration, your head movement, and nothing else. Like, it's probably a torture. But the article I'm reading said that he was paralyzed below the neck and he relied on a ventilator, and they call him a paraplegic. Quadriplegic.
Yeah, there's 4.
Yeah. Wow, that sucks. A poor bastard.
Like
30 years. He was 29 when he got shot.
29?
And he was 59 when he died, yeah. His son's a cop now, too. He became a cop.
Fuck, man. You're
That's
29 and you're a cop and you're just sitting there like you got your whole life in front of you.
Let me see. He was up. 13 to 15, some bicycle larcenies, and he noticed something pounding one of the teen's socks without warning. 3 deafening shots pierced one in. Oh, wow. He got striking Officer McDonald just above the eye in his throat, with the last one shattering his spinal cord. Wow, he got really hit. Okay, he got shot badly. He's lucky to have lived. Can we see his face, Adrian? Yeah.
I can't believe he survived 30 years, though.
I can't believe
That's
30 years ago that happened. I've been hearing about Stephen McDonald for 30 years. I can't believe that's 30 fucking years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, we're here?
Yeah, one's here. Charlie.
Oh, Charlie's here. Okay, so we're waiting on...
funeral has shut the city down.
Yeah, we just talked about that. You want to
come on in, man.
What do you want to...
Yeah. Charlie Ebersol.
Hi, Charlie.
Welcome, man. How are you?
How are you guys?
Good.
He hate me is on his way. He's stuck in the traffic.
En route.
Yes.
Walking, running.
Oh, he is running. Yeah, I had to get out and walk this morning, too.
Yeah.
We're live, by the way. Just to...
Oh, good.
Yeah, don't say anything that you don't...
Yeah, exactly.
Want broadcast everywhere. Welcome to the show, man.
Good job.
Thank you, guys.
It was really good.
Did they tag you to direct the XFL documentary because of your dad, or is it something you wanted to do?
Both. When we originally put the film together, and ESPN came to me, they were of the mindset that my father and Vince would be more honest if I was the one doing it. I hadn't directed a documentary in like 10 years, so it took me a while to get my head wrapped around it. And then when I went to Vince and my father and was like, "Look, I don't want to make a puff piece. I want to." Really,
I mean, it's really crazy that you got Vince.
Well, that explains how you got Vince and your dad. I was like, how did they get these two? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was insane. I mean, Vince was the bigger sell, and I ended up going up to Stanford a couple of times and sitting down with him. And I mean, I grew up with these guys because my dad and Vince created this Saturday Night Main Event together.
Right.
So
I know.
First, 10 years of my life, Hulk Hogan was my babysitter because he was the last one that would go out on the show.
Right.
So I'd go in his dressing room during the show, and he'd look after me, and then I'd go out. So like Vince and my father were like really hugely important figures in my life, which I leaned on heavily in guilting them both into doing the film.
What was Vince's first reaction when you approached him?
He hadn't. You know what's funny is Vince is one of those guys who he's a very successful entrepreneur. So when something's done, he puts it down and doesn't really think about it again. So his first reaction was like, "I don't really remember that much about what happened." And then I was
he doesn't remember the It was like you started.
He blocked it out. He blocked it out.
Yeah.
He blocked it out.
Started talking about Raw.
The best is in the interview. I'm telling him. I was asking about the blimp. The XFL blimp that crashed, and his reaction's totally genuine. He's like, "I go, yeah, you remember the blimp?" He goes, I don't remember much except that it crashed. And I was like, that's the only thing you remember.
They did. It was like this great promo thing that they did to fly over like one of the NFL
playoff game.
Yeah, playoff game.
Yeah.
And the blimp crashed.
Yeah, it crashed into San Francisco
Over
Bay.
an NFL playoff game, yeah.
Yeah. It was an Oakland game, and it crashed into San Francisco
But
Bay.
it ended up being great publicity for better or worse because then everybody talked about the blimp, right?
What did it crash into? A hot dog stand?
A seafood restaurant.
Seafood restaurant.
Yeah, it got hooked on a sailboat.
So what finally sold Vince? Well, I would imagine for you, your dad must have been not the hardest sell in the world because you're
my dad. Neither would do it unless the other did.
Gotcha.
Which was hugely important. And the thing is, what sold them ultimately, both of them, was I said, look, I'm interested in talking about the XFL because I think that people think of it as this grand failure, and yet you can't watch a professional sporting event without seeing the remnants of the XFL. But more importantly, I know you two as this great bromance of these two guys who for 30 years were best friends and sort of like this love story, unexpected given their backgrounds. And I wanted to tell that story. I really wanted to tell what it was like for the two of them to become friends, and then because they're so different.
And it also kind of explains, like, the fact that they had that kind of relationship explains how NBC ended up being a 50-50 owner of this kind of crazy idea, because that's not happening unless a guy who's as powerful as your dad is, best friends with Vince.
Well, here's the thing that I don't get into this in the film, but it's sort of a through line of my father's career, is that the business deal underneath that no one really paid attention to is always the biggest part of the deal. So like the Olympic deals in Sydney and China and all these other things that people are like, they spent $1 billion. And I was like, yeah, but General Electric built a ton of power plants in China because of the Olympic deal. NBC, which was owned by GE at the time, would go in. The same with this XFL. Yeah, they own 50% of the league, but they also bought 30% of WWE in stock. So as part of the deal, NBC, who is now WWE's single biggest partner with USA Network and all these other things, had this massive investment, and they were able to get this massive investment right when WWE went public.
Right.
And so when people talk about, they lost $37 million, I'm like, yeah, they did. They made about $300 million down the line in terms of stock. But yeah, they lost a little bit of money on the football deal.
Would season 2 have been
really interesting.
A complete bust? I always felt I was like, why not just give it a second year? Because a lot of things fall apart. And if by season 2, if you had better football, it very well may have caught on. I mean, the first year, it did tank and it went low. But by the second year, a second year may have happened.
5 of the 8 cities sold out every game. So, like, the live event portion, here's the thing. People think about the Chicago Stadium and the LA Stadium and the New York Stadium, which they count as a sold out because they closed the upper bowl. Mm-hmm. But you're talking about an average stadium of like 25 to 27,000 people going. That's way above the MLS. Right. And you think about controlled cost. The whole business plan of the XFL was not that they were successful in primetime. The whole idea of the XFL was as long as you were successful in day part on Sunday and you were selling out the games, it would work. I just think, the first game was such a disaster that it was very hard to recover the audience after that.
Did your dad, because the fact is they did walk away after season 1.
And by the way, the TV ratings were historically low.
Oh, no. But yes, you're absolutely right. For the Saturday primetime, it went from the highest rated Saturday programming on the first night in 15 years to the lowest ever.
Right.
However, the Sunday programming was the highest Sunday day programming of any cable channel during the period. So the thing is that it's ironic because when my dad and Lauren created Saturday Night Live, they called it the Not Ready for Primetime Players.
Sure.
And my original title for the XFL was the Not Ready for Primetime Players because that's what they were. This football was better than Arena League, but nowhere near the NFL. But it was in the lush primetime 8 o'clock spot.
But your father got Vince to kind of only do a season 1 when contractually he was obligated for season 2, and that to me was the friendship because he got Vince McMahon to basically go, yeah, you're right. Season 2 is not probably the smartest financial move, but Vince didn't have to do that.
So there's a story that's also not in the film, but it's my favorite story about my dad and Vince. So my dad and Vince meet. They decide to do Saturday Night Main Event 2 weeks in. The lawyers can't come together on a deal, and all this arguing. And Vince calls my dad and says, "This is stupid. We should get rid of the lawyers, and we should just do this contract." And 11 years later, my dad walks out to the mailbox. He's no longer with the WWE, et cetera, and he gets handed a check. There's a check in his mailbox for a lot of money, and it's from Vince. And he calls Vince and says, "What is this?" And Vince says, "Oh, well, we sold the video rights in Indonesia, and that's your cut." And my dad said, "But that's not in our contract." And Vince says, "We don't have a contract. We have a handshake." And that's how their business relationship was for 30 years. So when the XFL wasn't working, I think my dad's one of the few people in the world who could go to Vince and say, "Look, this isn't working." And he believed him and trusted him and said, "Okay, you're right."
The pre-show didn't get a lot of praise. The Opie and Anthony pre-show.
In Orlando.
Bob Costas got... No, I mean, somebody mentioned it, but you guys...
Bob talks about it.
Yeah, there was really no mention of Opie and Anthony, but I was kind of hoping they would talk about those guys, because I remember that was when I first started going on their show, and that was the big thing, was the NFL...
They were huge.
XFL pre-show.
They were doing... people don't realize that the promotional machine around the XFL, I compare it to like the launch of the first iPhone. It was so, like, the level of interest was disproportionate to anything that had ever...
That's what, to me, it's like one of those... going back to what you said before about, like, remnants of the XFL, I was kind of getting frustrated watching the movie. At the end of it, the feeling that I had was this feeling of, like, I know, because I'm a big wrestling fan, like, that Vince McMahon is one of the great TV content producers of all time. And there's, like, all this genius in the XFL, and it's like, if Vince would just concentrate on the part where he is a genius, it could be something super successful. But he's such a big picture thinker that he has to do everything. and that's where stuff starts to fall apart. I feel like.
Well, weren't they surprised that he got involved? Like on the ground, they were shocked that he actually.
Nobody knew. When the most famous moment of the XFL is him walking out and going, "This is the XFL," right?
The XFL.
No one knew he was going to do that, except that him, my dad, and the director. All the talent, everyone else have been said like, "Oh yeah, no, Vince is, he's on the outside."
Well, that's also like wrestling, because Vince is used to running his business where you don't tell everybody everything that's going on. The people that need to know, and you make decisions at the last minute, and then you just go and do it.
I fell down the YouTube rat hole of videos about The Rock. I'm a big WWF fan, so I'm a big fan of The Rock. And I fell down this rat hole, and I was watching, he did some interview about his first wrestling match ever, and he's talking about how like 30 minutes before the match, he does not know who's supposed to win the match or not.
Right.
And it's the first time he's ever been on television. That's representative of... I remember...
And that's why, it's one of the things that makes him, I think, if you could take that, right, and succeed in that environment, then it's almost like when you get outside and go into Hollywood and stuff, that they might feel like they're kind of last minute and fly by the seat of their pants. But something like The Rock is like, this is nothing. The fact that I have 2 days' notice.
I love when people are surprised that WWE guys are good at live comedy.
Right.
Like, wow, John Cena really figured out Saturday Night Live. I'm like, he does Saturday Night Live every night. He does it 3 nights a week on live television.
They're comfortable. They can all improv. Bob Costas made a great point, too. He said the XFL might have worked if they had come at it from a more humble point of view. Like, if Vince had said, look, we're trying this, and we really hope you like it. Like, that might have gotten people on board a little bit. And that's not Vince.
That's the thing about Vince,
but
is
it
his
might
humility.
But it still might have worked better, though. But in a business sense, it might have actually worked a little bit better.
Here's the thing. I think that their greatest undoing was also the thing that they felt they needed the most, which was primetime. Because here's the thing is, their business plan wasn't built for primetime. Remember, Vince created the thing 6 weeks before NBC got involved, and it was when NBC got involved that could only justify the financials.
Oh, shit. He hate me is in the building.
This is really
hate me.
This is really why I did the film, so that I could hang out with you. That was really the only thing I cared about.
Is that crazy? Like, we talk about the XFL, and the point of the movie is that it's like one of these. The point of the movie, I guess, in a larger scale, is the impact that it had. But really, the reason why it's a movie is because it was a colossal failure. And
I agree.
That's what's drawing people into it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: nobody ever remembers the single car crash at NASCAR. They remember the 32-car pileup. But by the way, I just want to, because Rod's now here, the one thing that is abundantly clear is there are only 2 players that you really remember from the XFL, which is He Hate Me and Tommy Maddox, who both went on to play in Super Bowls and were both legit ballers.
Right.
And so, like, my thing was, if you loaded up the XFL with people like Rod, then you wouldn't be having the conversation that we were having.
Why do you think the XFL is talked about so much in the USFL? People know it existed, but people don't talk about it like they do the XFL.
The XFL changed. Here's the thing: the XFL changed everything about how football was presented. Right, like all of a sudden you have the sky cam, you have the steady cam, you have all this. You
mics on the field.
You got players with personality. I mean, all of that stuff was, and I think that what my father, probably more than any other person other than maybe David Hill at Fox, the 2 people who understood more than anybody that football was the most television-friendly sport there was. It stops every 15 seconds. There's plenty of time to talk, but there's a lot of action and violence. So if you could give people more access, more understanding, and Vince understood storytelling, you bring those 2 things together and you've got something really meaningful.
Yeah.
And USFL didn't do that. USFL was just a bunch of billionaires who wanted to be in the NFL and couldn't buy their way in, so they created a game that was fun to be in the stadium but was garbage television.
And let's be honest, like, Vince McMahon and P.T. Barnum are the 2 greatest promoters, literally, of all time. So when you got Vince McMahon promoting something, you're going to talk about it.
And Vince is a real billionaire with real talent, as opposed to the USFL, which was loaded up with people like Donald Trump, who are neither of those things. So, like, you have this dichotomy that when you have 2 great storytellers building something, that's what happens.
What team did you play in the Super Bowl with?
The Panthers.
What was bigger to you? Getting to the Super Bowl or the idea of getting to the $1 million game? Your headphones working?
Oh,
there you go.
There we go. I'm live.
Yeah.
Which was bigger?
Yeah, because $1 million game is $1 million. I mean,
they didn't quite sell it out.
Well,
not quite. They were close though.
Honestly, to me, the Super Bowl by far.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I'm going to answer that more so because I wasn't in the $1 million game.
Right.
I didn't get a piece of that pie. But definitely the Super Bowl.
Are you surprised that like you did make it to the Super Bowl and like you had this NFL career and the XFL lasted 1 season? And there is still, like, people don't want to call you Rod. People want to call you He Hate Me.
Hey, I'm the creator, so hey.
You like that?
If it allows them to sleep well at night, hey, I love it.
I did love in the movie that you, like, included him explaining what He Hate Me means.
Well, there's a great story.
He ate me, and he ate me.
that fan, Kemish, the guy who does that, is legitimately, he was raised Mormon. He'd never been to any form of professional sporting event before, and the first event he went to was the XFL Outlaws game, and he was like 3 seats away from a cheerleader position where they'd come into the crowd and dance, and so like a cheerleader danced like 6 feet from his
And like
Mormon
the cheerleaders
father.
were basically lap dancing. Like the cheerleaders were it was not NFL cheerleaders.
And you guys were encouraged to date them. Did you date any?
No, it was too much other stuff in Vegas for me.
Like what?
Like beautiful women.
Oh, okay. So you didn't want to fuck one of the cheerleaders, you figured?
No, that's too close to.
Were the players kind of all going after the same ones?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I was head over heels in Vegas, so it was my first time in Las Vegas. Young, had money, single. Hey, can't beat that.
Did you sleep with a lot of different girls when you were there?
You know what? I can't remember.
Memory's foggy in that period of your life. Huh? That's weird. I would imagine if the answer was no, the memory would be a little bit clearer.
You know, I remember Vegas. Yeah, 'cause I've struck out every time I've gone there. I remember
clearly?
one girl I met in Vegas in 15 years of working there.
That's
one.
terrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's really a bad average.
It's not your city.
Not
No.
my experience.
No, you've done okay in Vegas?
No, I'm just saying this.
No, it's just a little different. So when He Hate Me becomes like the standout in terms of character, because we all know Vince McMahon is about characters. When He Hate Me becomes the standout character in the XFL, does he take an interest in you? Like, do you have conversations with him? Does he want to brand this character?
Yeah, actually, we had some talks at the time it was going on, and I didn't know it was going to blow up the way it did, but it was a lot of fun, and I got to thank him for allowing me to be me in that league, and it was a fun league, great league, stepping stone, of course, for me to get to the next level. And
did he want to bring you into WWE at any point?
I don't know about that, but he maybe had thoughts.
I bet he did. I mean, it closes after one season, but people still remember He Hate Me. That's a guy who.
Well, they're still selling jerseys.
Exactly.
I bought a jersey online like a couple of days ago.
Did you?
Yeah, for real. The thing that I will say, my favorite Rod story is the day before the game, they said we can't use your nickname, and he was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Well, we think it's a gang name or something like that. We can't use it." And so. This is why I love Rod. Rod goes, "Well, I need to talk to Vince." And they're like, "Go have your shot. He's over there." And he ran on the field and made his case. And Vince fell in love with him. And was
Of course,
done.
What were you doing before you played for them?
Let me see. Before that, I was actually back at Western Kentucky training. I had just got let go from the Chargers. I was out there with Jim Harbaugh, and I played for his dad in college, Jack Harbaugh, at Western. So that's that connection. But
at least you were playing though. A lot of guys weren't even playing football.
Right. Yeah, I was playing.
They were working like day jobs.
I was actually fresh out of college. I graduated spring 2000. Went to the Chargers. Got cut around training camp. Went back to school. Was training, and that's when XFL started. They started the draft and whatnot during that fall session, and of course, it started in the spring.
Did you know you were getting cut? Like, how did they tell you you're done?
Wow. You know what? No lie. And it was funny, I always heard that thing with football, hey, well, we can't keep you because it's a numbers thing. The fuck does that mean? A numbers thing? What is that?
We don't want to pay you anymore.
So my thing was Dalian Tomlinson wasn't even there yet. He was a junior, senior, wherever he was at TCU. He was still at TCU. So they had no backs, no outstanding backs anyway. And, the guy I was competing against was a guy by the name of Ronnie Jenkins. We were kind of the same mold, speedsters, smaller speedster guys. And but they had no go-to running back. So when the coach brought me in and told me that, Mike Riley, I think was the head coach at the time with the Chargers, and he brought me in his office, met with me, and told me that. I was kind of like, what the hell does that mean? And he really had no explanation.
He said the numbers?
That's part of the business. Yeah. Oh, it's the numbers thing. We got so many guys here and there. And that. What?
You have no running backs.
What is that?
Yeah.
Were you
We're going
shocked?
for the no running back offense.
You were shocked then?
Well, I was young. I was a rookie. I came from a small school. We ran the option. So I put all those things in consideration, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe, I'm not fit for this system or something. But, after that, when I saw my opportunity in XFL and the guys I were competing against, I was like, man, I should have a chance anywhere, because I'm a hard worker and I'm a competitor. If I compete against anyone, if I get beat, we're going to keep competing until I win, So that's just my competitive edge.
What goes on in your mind when you find out that there's not going to be a season 2? That there's one season of the XFL and we're done?
Oh, man. It hurt, because that was a fun league. It was a lot of freedom, a lot of fun, money. So, you want to always get paid for something you love doing.
Did you worry about injuries? Because they were saying, I mean, part of the problem with the XFL was in the rules. Like, the rules were crafted a certain way so there was more action, but people got injured all the time.
It's football.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But on like the scramble, they said they were losing people on the opening scramble for possession. Like, that's an unnecessary loss just to see who gets
the one thing I do love about the XFL that still confused. I asked my dad and Vince about it. In fact, I asked my dad about it like a couple nights ago. I was like, I still don't really understand this. The principle is, we're going to make it tougher, rougher. Smash mouth is his big word, right? But it's also built for television, so we're going to score a lot of touchdowns. And like, you can't unprotect the quarterback and allow the receivers to get the shit beaten out of them on the field and expect them to score more touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, it is antithetical in thought, but...
Did anyone get hurt really badly? The no fair catch thing, to me, seems like such a dangerous...
Except no fair catch. Here's the thing about no fair catch. No fair catch was a complete misnomer because what the marketing group thought that meant was no halo. Like, we're not going to protect the guys for 5 yards. But the real reason there's no fair catch is because they wanted the punt to be live. Mm-hmm. So, like, the minute someone, like the pooch kick that Tom Brady does all the time, they wanted them to do that to advance the ball, sort of like rugby. But in the marketing, they were like, oh, it means there's no halo, so the guys are going to get murdered. The thing that was super dangerous that is the part we don't talk about is there was no helmet to helmet. There were no rules about helmet to helmet. Mm-hmm. So you look at the hits on the receivers, like, we would look at hits, and it was like, especially knowing what we know now about concussions,
right?
People were just spearing people across the middle because, oh God, what's his name? The former Chicago Bear, who is the head of
Mike Ditka.
No.
William Refrigerator Perry.
I'll go with Ditka. No,
Okay.
Their whole principle was we want to hit like we hit in the '70s, and then you look at these hits, and these guys are getting lit up, helmet to helmet.
Yeah, it was the '70s were. I mean, there's been very few paralysis incidents. I mean, you look at Darryl Stingley and a few other guys, but it hasn't happened that often, considering how brutally they hit for so long.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Do you have any? Do you have any concussion problems or no?
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure 1,000,001 of them.
What was it like as a kid when this is all happening? How old are you when the XFL is happening?
I'm a senior in high school.
Okay.
So I was there. I was at the first Vegas game.
Is your dad pissed by the end of it? Like, he's like, what the fuck happened with this thing?
No. Halftime in the first game.
He was...
Yeah, my dad has a horrible poker face if you're close to him, and he was just like, halftime in the first game, he was like, this bad. Because here's the thing, outside of Rod, who was running all over people like it looked like a professional football player was running against a high school team. I mean, he was just cutting them up. Outside of Rod, like, everyone else on the field, for the most part, just like, it was bad. New York had 19 yards of total offense in the game. I mean, that's insanity.
Right. Yeah, that's not a great number.
No, I mean, it could be better. What was sad, though, is the other game, the Orlando game, was an amazing game. It was 34-37.
Crazy watching that. Just that's the one that went off the air.
Oh, no, that was week 2. That was week 2. I'm saying week 1, they had
the B game, you mean.
The B game was an incredible game, and,
Yeah.
It was good for Rod because he gets on the field and he looks like
just tore everyone up.
It's just like a Space Jam out there.
Yeah. Do you think they made a mistake making they had a pretty good announcer? I forget his name. Was it Marty?
Matt.
And then all of a sudden they put him on the B game because they thought he wasn't over the top enough.
Vince.
Vince, yeah. But I think that was probably that probably hurt the legitimacy of it for people who were real football fans and wanted to watch it, to have a guy who really knew football.
Who to put in good old JR and Jerry the King Lawler and Jesse Ventura?
Not the right move.
I loved it.
There's an expression in comedy called putting a hat on a hat. Like, if you have a great joke and then you're like, hold on, I got one more funny thing I can add to this, and you lose the audience. The XFL was sort of like that. It was like, we're building a tank, but it has wings, and it has a rocket launcher. Oh, and by the way, did we mention it has a flamethrower? And it makes sno cones. And you're like, why does it make sno cones?
We don't need that.
That was sort of like, by the time you got to the announcers and the governor of Minnesota is the color man, like, you're kind of like, all right, we may have, like, at certain point in time, not just jumped the shark, but also nuked the fridge and about 7 other things.
Right.
Did you see Vince pissed as it was happening, or was he just trying to make it work?
Well, here's the thing. They weren't pissed about it. I mean, my dad was upset because it wasn't working.
Right.
Vince is used to things not working and just working through it. You know what I mean? Like, he would have gone 4 seasons just because, he knows an audience. He can get his audience, and he'll just keep adjusting. He listens to the audience better than anyone.
Plus, he doesn't like to admit that something's failed.
No. I totally disagree with that. I think probably nobody admits failure faster, but he also just drops it faster. Like, whenever people talk about Eli Manning and they're like, he's not elite, I'm like, he's elite in my mind because he goes back out on the field after throwing an interception, and you can tell he doesn't remember that he threw the interception. He just moves on. That's Vince.
Next thing. Gotcha.
Vince was pissed during the XFL because the execution was so jacked up.
Right.
And that's where he was like, I have a really good production team. So NBC must have an amazing production team, and the marriage of the two really wasn't like seamless. It wasn't seamless.
What do you think that one thing where the game did go off the air in LA, which they explained why it happened? Do you think that was somebody from Vince's team or somebody from NBC's team who fucked that up?
I think it was somebody from an outside party.
Oh, neither one.
Here's the thing, right?
I don't think there's any way it was somebody from Vince's team. No,
I don't think, or NBC. Here's the thing. It's a little bizarre, right? The NFL wants to bring a team to LA at the time. They end up doing it now, but they wanted to bring a team at the time. In the stadium that the XFL is playing in. And not one, but 2 generators are bone dry with no gas, and the trucks are unplugged from the wall, which is a part we don't get into in the film, because I really didn't want to go into like conspiracy theory.
Right.
But like, these are really, really professional guys in the media capital of the universe. They're in Los Angeles, and they don't fill up 2 generators, and they unplug from the wall, like, so all the trucks go dead at the same time.
Sabotage, maybe, yeah.
Look, I'm not... Between the blimp crashing and that thing happening and other like weird like things left, right, it just becomes like really
You do get conspiratorial. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
Vince and my father won't go anywhere near that. They will not touch it.
No, they won't.
No. So I was sitting, after we screened it at the WWE, I was with Triple H, and he and I were like, somebody's going around, right? He's like, yeah, definitely. All right, cool. As long as that's...
We have to... Travis is saying we have to
wrap up and move on.
I guess you guys talk about this stuff.
Well, before you go, it said on the internet, did you date Britney Spears?
Did you really? Oh, awesome.
What is it like for women in your life to come in knowing that was somebody that you dated before? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if I knew that the girl I was dating dated some dude that everybody loved, I would be insecure about that.
I don't know that I can answer that question. I don't know the answer to that question. Here's the thing: is I find that the people that I tend to date are people that are enormously successful in their own right. Like Britney's obviously incredibly famous and incredibly talented and all this other stuff. But the type of woman that I find myself dating is always someone who's enormously self-secure and sort of successful in their own right. And so, like the girl that I'm dating now, who's incredible, she's not a pop singer, so she's not comparing herself to Britney Spears. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. They're wildly different in that. I find, and I think this is entirely because of my mother. My mom was this. When my mom and dad got married, my mom was more successful than my dad. And my mom, 10 years in, was like, climbed to the top of the mountain, didn't want to do anything else. She was on the most successful TV show in America at the time, retired and never looked back.
Who's your mom?
Susan St. James.
Oh.
And so my view of women was, this is what a woman is supposed to be. It's supposed to be someone who is incredibly secure and incredibly successful and who has their stuff together. And so I've been lucky. I mean, I've been very lucky in terms of that. I think that I was like that was the image of women. That
We date very different women. Every woman
you
I
haven't dated Britney?
No, I've never dated women at the top of their field. It's typically women who hate their own guts or in their first 30 days of recovery.
That's why. By the way, that's why I said you and I have different Vegas experiences. 'Cause when I was in Vegas, it was a very different lady.
Well, everybody, you definitely should watch this 30 for 30. It's February.
It's really great.
Yeah, it is great. Premieres February 2nd at 9 p.m. on ESPN. It's called This Was the XFL. I'm absolutely fascinated by all things XFL. I believe it's at my parents' house, but I have every game on VHS. Because it's a big wrestling tape trader.
Where the hell were you like 6 months ago when I was cutting this shit together?
I have all the games on VHS tapes.
It was like looking everywhere.
Were they hard to find?
Well, the WWE has everything, but like there's the commercials that ran during the game aren't there, and the commercials during that period are insane because 90% of the ads were internet companies that like don't exist anymore, and they would do them about the XFL. So like it. Anyway,
I want to go back now and watch my tapes.
Oh, you have them. That's
find
right.
The commercials.
You see all the commercials.
Insane.
That's great.
Insane.
That's great. Well, thanks, guys, for being here. Make sure you watch the movie February 2nd on ESPN.
And also, tomorrow, Saturday, in New York, we have a one-day-only Hall of Fame to the XFL. So if you are an XFL fan, all of the best memorabilia, and we're going to be doing some secret sneak screenings of the film throughout the day. So if you show up at the Cooper Union, 41 Cooper Square, you can check that out. Go to ESPN.com and you can see more.
It was so good, man. And you were great. And it was really just excellent and really interesting.
And will He Hate Me be at the Hall of Fame?
I think we're actually enshrining He Hate Me at the Hall of Fame. So, yes, he will absolutely be.
He better be.
There'll be ribbon cutting tonight.
Thanks a lot. We'll be right back. Charlie Ebersol, after the interview, just telling stories about Eddie Murphy. I guess I knew he was Dick Ebersol's kid, obviously, but I didn't realize that Dick brought him everywhere, that he was part of everything. And I mean, Dick Ebersol is co-creator of SNL, Saturday Night's Main Event for me. But like also, you know, and then he was in charge of NBC Sports for a while. And he's just a legend.
And he also is
legend
the guy
in
who
TV.
kind of discovered Eddie Murphy, and Eddie always credits him. So I just asked Charlie a question about that, and he's like, "Fuck, I wish we got to hung with him for an hour, man." We talked for a couple minutes in the break about Eddie and stories of how that whole thing happened. I'd love to interview Dick Ebersol. He'd be really fun to talk to.
Great to talk to.
Get him on, Travis. Call him.
Travis, call Dick. We'll get Charlie. We're going to try to get Charlie back in though.
I'd love
just
to
hang and
I
not
didn't get
necessarily
Britney
just
Spears.
talk about the XFL. It was on the sheet. Yeah,
Pretty. I didn't even see it. I just watched the thing and
Thanks.
talked.
You think it'd be fun to date Britney Spears?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be too.
Even when she had her crew cut and was hitting things with an umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still would let her shit on me.
Yeah, it was good though. It was. I mean, you know when a project's good, like the XFL 30 for 30. If like you said, like you didn't even look at the prep sheet, you were just prepared to do an interview based on the project.
I loved it. I thought it was so good. And I didn't tell him, and I'm not going to say why, but there was a really couple of moving moments in it that I wasn't expecting, that I was really taken aback by. It was very, very good, man.
And like I can't say enough that like the fact that he got Vince to do it. Vince doesn't do stuff anymore.
But it makes sense that he's Charlie's kid. I mean, he's
Exactly.
Dick
Dick's
Ebersol's kid.
kid,
Yeah, it's obviously,
Yeah.
You know, it's understandable how that happened.
Have you seen, speaking of disasters, Joseph Fiennes as Michael Jackson?
I saw the photos of it. Paris Jackson thinks it's great, which is weird.
Okay, Jim.
She's like, he looks exactly like my dad. I'm proud of it.
I don't know if I have a direct quote, but I think you might be incorrect.
Where is it? I had the article put aside.
So basically, and this thing has been talked about for a while, but it was rumor for a while. I didn't know it was real.
Why are they pulling it, by the way?
And then, well, a trailer came out, and it was basically, at first I thought it was a film, but it's a series. And Sky TV in England is basically airing this series of shows that's about celebrity-based urban myths that could be true, could not be true. And there's this old Hollywood story of Liz Taylor, Marlon Brando, and Michael Jackson taking a road trip right after 9/11. And so, like, and that's basically the plot of this one-off show, is that Liz Taylor, Marlon Brando, and Michael Jackson are on a road trip, and this is kind of what happened.
And the problem in Marlon Brando, they didn't like it either. They had Anthony Edwards play him. People are just complaining about it. This is inappropriate.
But they're pulling it because there was a lot of outrage.
Gives a fucking. First of all, there was outrage when they first announced it, and these fucking pussies. It's like you did it. You knew there was going to be a problem. I don't like the fact that they said that they have a problem that he was a white middle class Joseph Fiennes, or how do you say his name? Fiennes.
I think it's Fiennes, but I could be wrong.
But I mean, who cares if he's middle class? Who gives a fuck about the class he was? White is one thing, but like, what does middle class have to do with it? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I think white was the bigger issue.
Yes.
Yeah. But he also did, I mean, he doesn't look a thing like Michael Jackson.
No, it's
the
a terrible...
worst portrayal of Michael Jackson I've ever seen.
But how do you cast Michael Jackson? Because he did not look black. By the time this happened, this is what he looked like. So who do you get? Do you get mad at the actor playing him, the person hiring a white actor play him, or do you get mad at Michael for bleaching his fucking skin?
Well, and by the way, if you don't know who Joseph Fiennes is, he's the guy who played Shakespeare in Shakespeare in Love. He's done a couple things, but not that much since then.
Did he sound like Michael though?
No.
Let's see a minute. I didn't see a minute of this.
It's only the trailer. I mean, there's very, very little. This is
and
all
they're not
there
going to
is.
show it?
No, it isn't going to air.
Cunts.
Marble lions.
Cowards.
They are horses. I sense the danger.
That was it. I sense the danger is the only line that we will ever hear.
Let me hear it. Well, it'll come up sooner or later.
Danger. Here I such cases. I sense the danger. Here I such cases.
I sense the danger.
Who's playing Brando in the back? It looks like hold on. Who? Brian Cox. Oh, is that Brian Cox? Okay. Doesn't look like he's
Brando?
British.
Oh, you don't.
He was in the original. He was the original Hannibal Lecter.
No. I know who Brian Cox is.
Okay. I'm just saying for people who might not.
Yeah. It's not going to be broadcast. It was supposed to. The series was supposed to start January 19th. But that episode, at least, is not going to happen. Earlier this week, Paris Jackson said she wanted to vomit after seeing the images. And Sky Art said it dropped the episode titled Elizabeth, Michael, and Marlon, adding the decision was supported by Joseph Fiennes. Meaning he was like, yeah, drop it.
Maybe he's like, yeah.
I mean, it's not nobody. Even before there was any outrage
But
about
look at
it.
Mike. How come Michael doesn't get accused of cultural appropriation? The thin nose, the fucking white, like.
I don't know if they use the word cultural appropriation, but people definitely have pointed out that.
Meaning, but when you hear about that stuff, they don't complain about it. It's like, who do you get to play him? I'm not saying this was a good portrayal,
right?
But it's hard to hire a black actor who's completely white to play him at that time in his life.
Yeah, it is difficult. Well, you'd have to.
What do you want?
You'd have to find a light-skinned black actor who then can put on makeup.
Yeah, I mean, that's no. You can't put on the makeup. Can't.
You got to put on some makeup. It's Michael Jackson.
No. You cannot have any skin color altering makeup. That's cultural appropriation. You
The blackface argument doesn't exactly hold water when his face wasn't black.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's difficult to say he was wearing blackface when it was the color of white skin. A spokesman for the channel said, we've taken the decision not to broadcast Elizabeth, Michael, and Marlon, a half-hour episode from the Urban Myth series in light of the concerns expressed by Michael Jackson's immediate family. We set out to take a lighthearted look at a reportedly true event and never intended to cause any offense. Joseph Fiennes fully supports our decision. I mean, I'm sure he supports the decision, because even before Paris Jackson said anything, this became super. This was what, Jim, you know what that was? It was a meme. It became super viral because people thought about how ridiculous it looked.
And a year ago, people were talking
Yeah,
about it.
I remember it was being talked about, but just the way they knew there was going to be an issue.
It's lousy casting.
But who else do you get? They might have looked at a bunch of people and realized there's not many people that look like he looked at this point.
I think what probably happened was that not many people wanted to do it because it's probably not that high profile of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, it wasn't this moment where you're going to get a great. Because what's he done since Shakespeare in Love?
Who gives a fuck if Michael Jackson is not portrayed appropriately? The guy was a fucking weird dude. He had children to his house. He was going to buy a fucking the Elephant Man's bones. He was a fucking weirdo. You know who? And a great performer, but a fucking weirdo. And now we're worried. Oh no, he might be portrayed not 100% with. Fuck him.
You know who takes issue with it? His daughter.
I don't blame her.
But then it's like,
what is she mad that Joseph looks just like her?
That's what I was
looks
about
more like
to
her father than her
say.
father.
Yeah.
Fucking stop it already.
Yeah.
God almighty.
And Michael Jackson was a weird one.
He was a weird dude.
Because he did cosmetically change himself, obviously, to look more white.
Like a white woman.
But at the end of his life, he was very pro-black. I mean, he was accusing Sony of racism. He was like, he became very pro-black. So it wasn't like he was downplaying his blackness. Do you know what I mean?
I think he had vitiligo and he was trying to even out his skin tone or whatever.
And just went nuts.
But he was a weirdo. The way he carried himself, he was a weird person.
Do you think so?
Weird upbringing. But the fact that they're complaining that there was a weird casting decision and he was made to look weird after the life he lived is fucking ludicrous that they're complaining.
I could see his daughter complaining. Like, his daughter isn't going to come from the most objective perspective.
Of course.
Which is fine.
It's fine that the family complains, but here's my question. Who gives a fuck what the family thinks?
Right. And why are you...
Cares.
Yeah, but you know what? Michael Jackson had a lot of fans, and like,
yes, he did.
The point of the show, they shouldn't have pulled it because we knew this was going to happen anyway.
Yes.
Like, there was no reason to go ahead and do it if you didn't want there to be negative publicity. But I understand why they wouldn't want there to be negative publicity, because if you're just trying to do a fun comedy show and you've got, millions of Michael Jackson fans being like, fuck you, you probably don't need that controversy around your show.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what it's about. I think it's the fact it's race. It's always race. And it's the fact that, look, he was a black man who became a white woman, and they hired a white man to play a black man who became white, and his white daughter didn't like it.
Maybe that was the problem, that it wasn't a white woman.
It's bizarre, though.
Playing Michael Jackson.
The white daughter is complaining about the way her father... Stop.
Yeah.
It's silly.
And there's never any answers, because nobody's going to submit to a DNA test. Nobody's going to
Oh, no.
It's never going to happen.
But I mean, and even from these people, there's no real answers. We never meant to cause offense.
And you can't even you can't even do a side-by-side comparison to Michael and his kids, because we have no idea what Michael Jackson looked like by the time, by the 90s. That's not what he looked like. You know
get
what
a picture of him from back then, though.
You
when they were conceived. I say with a wink. Do you know what I mean? That's when it matters. I think Debbie Rose, the mother, I think that they were probably... There's been speculation about who the father was.
Right.
I don't care either way if they were adopted, but...
Right. I mean, I'd assume Debbie Rose was their real mother.
Yeah, I think she was.
I think so, too.
She was a nurse.
Yeah.
She wasn't that hot. I remember this shock where Michael was with her, like, oof.
What do you mean she wasn't that hot? She was not a pretty woman.
No.
No, she was not hot at all. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, there's a side-by-side where it's like, that proves nothing.
No.
Because that's not what Michael Jackson looked
They both had heads.
like. Yeah.
He was trying to look like her.
Right. You would need a side-by-side of Michael as a kid. Before, that's Michael in Blanket. So weird.
Blanket.
So weird. Go back to the other shot. Michael's son has gotten older, and he looks like he's gotten chubby.
What shot?
The before. Go back. Like, no, it's off this page.
Oh.
Yeah. See that one above, right there? Yeah, right there. Yep, with LaToya. Like, it almost looks like Michael Jackson's older son has had some kind of like skin smoothing thing done.
It's hard to say. The whole family's just bizarre.
You think so?
Joe Jackson, he did beat some hits into them, but the whole family is crazy.
Yeah.
Scraping a fork on Michael's acne. when he was a kid. Like, yeah, he was a motherfucker, that guy. But boy, could he he could really motivate you to sing.
The fact that I don't have to deal.
Ike Turner too. There's something about violence that really makes a person belt out of tune.
Yeah. No, there's the option to not do it becomes a lot less likely.
Yeah.
The option to not succeed maybe starts to disappear.
Yeah, bitch, I'll punch you in the jaw. River deep, mountain high.
Yeah. It's almost like everybody that enjoys, like, celebrates Michael's music. It's like, well, we know what that's a result of. So, you know, because I'm sitting here thinking I didn't have to deal with any of the craziness, but I love the Jackson 5. So
I didn't love the Jackson 5. I don't like children singing adult things. I like it as he got older.
That's a weird thing, isn't it?
I didn't like that.
But it adds to the fact that it's Michael Jackson as a kid talking about his romances with women, just kind of adds to the whole weirdness that makes it work for me.
Yeah, Ben was a good song. About the fucking rat.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a great song. Except he says "bean" the whole time.
I don't remember that.
It's his Baltimore accent or wherever he was from.
I do remember as a boy, my mother told me that when I would cry when Gentle Ben would go off the air.
Why?
It was sad. I loved Gentle Ben.
Gentle Ben was the bear? Mm-hmm. Was that right?
Yes, he was.
And was it just a show about the bear? I don't remember.
That's right.
What?
Travis just made me laugh.
Why?
He's just a funny dude. Look at Gentle Ben.
So Gentle Ben is
He's just sitting there hanging with everybody. Hi, Gentle Ben. 67. Wow, I was a boy.
And you would cry when Gentle Ben went off the air?
Apparently, my mother reminded me of that, too. Look at this kid. What a fun gig for this kid. You know, back then, the safety standards were not... Is there music to it or no?
What's his name? What's the country singer's name? Clint, he's a big country singer.
Eastwood.
No. Clint.
He's an actor.
Eastwood.
Oh, right. He was in Back to the Future 3.
Who's a country singer named Clint? I can't believe I'm blanking on it. He's super famous. Yeah, Clint, Clint Black.
No, I'm not thinking that.
Well, Clint Howard is not a singer.
That was just a mistake that I made. I thought he was a singer.
He was in Apollo 13. He was in Houston when they had a problem.
Okay.
That thing you do.
Even though they really didn't say Houston, we've got a problem. That's a misquote.
What?
It's a misquote.
This is the Mandela effect rearing its ugly head.
I don't know what that is, but there's a problem.
Not the Berenstein Bears. It's Berenstain Bears.
Berenstein.
There's no E in it, dude. It's an A.
Jewish bears.
That's the Mandela effect.
Controlling all the berries.
He didn't say.
Stupid. He gets it. He's laughing.
I know he does. He didn't say, "Luke, I am your father." He didn't say that.
No, I know.
But a lot of people remember him saying that. You know what that is?
He said, "Call me Papa."
That's not what he said. Can you imagine if there was a Mandela effect of everybody thinking Darth Vader said, "Call me Papa"?
Call me Papa, then. Look, I'm your uncle in Shifnet.
He was his father.
What he actually did say, "I'm your father"?
I don't remember what he said, but that's one of the big Mandela effect things.
What does Mandela effect mean?
Mandela effect is what we were talking about, I think earlier this week or last week.
Where you go to jail and your wife burns people on a tire?
Incorrect.
Oh.
When everybody remembers something happening a certain way, like a large group of people remembering something happening a certain way, and it didn't happen. And the reason it's called the Mandela effect is because, see, like the Berenstain Bears is a big Mandela effect because everybody remembers it, they think it was an E in Berenstein, but it was Berenstain, and the only logical conclusion that people draw from this is there is an alternate dimension that stuff is getting lost into. And that's what it is.
That makes sense.
It's exactly. Thank you, Adrian.
What happens with the Bernstein Bears is that Bernstein is a more common name. Bernstein's a name no one's heard. So
First of all, it's Baron. It's not Bern.
Whatever it is.
Bern.
Bernstein Bears. People just immediately go to the name that they've heard a million times. That's pretty common.
Why do so many people do it then, Jim?
With that one, it doesn't matter. The Bernstein Bears. But with Luke, I'm your father, or with some of the other famous quotes that never happened. Houston, we've got a problem. It's not what happened.
Or the great Sinbad movie, Shazam.
Yeah.
Which I'm a fan of.
What he actually said was, Houston, we cunted this whole thing up. So shocking.
He probably did. He's panicking.
Yeah.
The reason it's called the Mandela effect is because there's a lot of people who who remember, specifically, they go, I remember Nelson Mandela died in the 1980s. He died in prison. I remember watching his funeral on TV.
Sure.
And then a whole bunch of people go, I remember that too, I remember that too, I remember that too. And so when he dies, a few years back, people go, no, he died in the 80s. And everybody has this collective memory of that happening.
Who remembers him? I never heard that he died in the 80s.
Then why is the Mandela effect a thing?
I don't know. Probably because people like the way he talks. Here in this life, that's the Mandela effect.
So they just wanted to remember incorrectly with that voice.
In this world. I remember Spike Lee. There's a great ending to Malcolm X. Spike Lee got Nelson Mandela.
His name was actually Malcolm Y. That's Mandela effect.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks, Chipper.
Malcolm XO.
Okay, we go with
he wanted Malcolm X. He wanted Nelson Mandela to give X's speech at the very end. That speech that he does by any means necessary.
Sure.
In this world, in this whatever, and Mandela wouldn't say by any means necessary
because he didn't believe it.
I don't know if he didn't believe it or he was afraid of the effect it might. Yeah. So they had, but I actually thought it worked out better. The fact that they used X's line. Spike Lee knows how to end a fucking movie, man.
Spike Lee's a great filmmaker.
He's a great filmmaker. Nobody ends a movie better than Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Let me see Mandela say it.
Malcolm X.
As Brother Malcolm said, we declare our right on this earth.
What year was this?
To be a man.
Late 90s.
How the fuck did he do this? He died in the 80s.
To be a human being. To be given the rights
You like the way he talks?
of a human being.
The rights of a human being.
To be respected.
To be respected.
As a human being in this society.
You think Nelson Mandela was put on this planet so that you could think he had a fun voice?
He has a fun voice. And we will achieve. Finish the quote. What are you doing? You stops the quote right there. Finish the quote.
In this day.
His shirt sucks.
It's traditional.
Into existence.
By any means necessary.
That was such a great way to cover that. Well, he really slow talked on that one. Jesus
he did.
Christ, Nelson,
He did.
speed it up.
He did. He went
not moving anybody.
He went the long road.
Come on, Nelson.
Hey, Craig in Oregon.
Hey, what's going on? We're going to talk about hip hop or something?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I was hoping that was done.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap.
What's going on?
So yeah, you guys were talking about the whole misremembering shit. Sarah Palin never said, "I can see."
Go ahead.
Yeah, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Sarah Palin never said, "I can see Russia from my backyard," but every single person thinks that she said it.
Right.
It was actually, who was it? Tina Fey on Saturday Night Live.
I don't know if that's true because it wouldn't.
No, she said something, but false. Yes,
False.
she didn't.
Okay,
actually
let's
say
note
that.
this up.
That's fake news.
Oh, that is fake news. Paradoxically, one of the common features of catchphrases is, oh my God, with all this stuff. So it's false. Thank you. Thank you, Craig.
Because you know what happens? A lot of times people start remembering things. Like a lot of people thought that Slick Rick sang a song called Lottie Dottie, but that was really Ducky Fresh. It was one of the first big rap songs. And there was the Lottie Dottie.
The spinning.
We like to party. And the Dougie Fresh, people think it's Dougie Fresh, like Dougie. But it's actually Doug E, like it's his middle initial.
Nobody
Doug
thinks it's
E Fresh.
Is that the Mandela effect?
And everybody thinks it's Dougie, but it was Slick Rick actually doing the rap like Dougie
Shut
Fresh
up.
did the
Shut up.
Dougie Fresh.
Shut up.
I'm gonna finish. Dougie
Shut
Fresh.
up.
Dougie Fresh did the beatboxing, like he would beatbox. That was originally made popular by the Fat Boys.
Megan in San Francisco.
You know, like Craig doing rap.
Hate it.
Megan.
Megan.
It's a typo.
No, you can spell Megan that way.
Megan.
Huh?
You can spell Megan that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought it was double E.
Megan.
No, that's an A.
It's Megan. Megan, look, it's Megan McCann.
Megan's on the phone.
Look, you're a woman. Someone made me laugh when Edgar did something. He put out and someone wrote that was a meme of lower stock. That really made me laugh.
So what's going on, Megan?
Megan.
In Casablanca, they never say "play it again, Sam."
That's
What?
right.
What?
That's right.
This is the Mandela effect.
He doesn't say Sam. He uses a racially inappropriate word.
Oh, thank you, Megan.
Oh, the pig.
The pig. This came from Edgar's Twitter yesterday. Again with the memes. It's a picture of a piglet.
Here's my least favorite.
It's a picture of a piglet with 4 rain boots on, and it says, "You gotta move that thing." The pig is holding an umbrella.
April Fools!
So bad.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Kirk Cinnamon's memes.
Oh no.
Was it? Does Kirk even have a Twitter?
Oh boy, does he? He's almost 10,000 followers.
I guess I've gotten tweeted by
How do you
him.
not follow? Yeah.
I don't follow any of them.
Okay, they'll all start talking to you more until you do. You will.
Okay, this one says still memeing up a storm. Oh, this is the same pig picture with the boots on, and it says, "Why so grumpy?" I don't want to read that.
You have to. Go on now.
It says, it's a picture of a pig with boots on.
Oh, your mother's cunting.
Who's calling you?
I don't know.
It says, "Why so grumpy? Mr. Piggy Red Shoes."
Isn't that cute?
No, it's not cute.
You don't like that?
So, it's a photo of Donald Trump giving a smug look, and it just says, Kirk tweeted, "Smiles are contagious."
They are.
Donald Trump smiles smugly, and under it says, "Right back at you, Kirk." Can't believe I started this.
Why?
I can't believe I introduced you to memes at all. I don't know why I did
You may
that.
take some cute ones.
I'm not doing them.
It's cute.
I'm not doing them. I'm not doing them.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to.
You're already committed to it.
I want to do something. I want.
We can move on.
I don't want to play anymore. I want to do this. The picture of a dog.
Little paws open.
And his paws are open and up and spread apart. And it says, "I caught a fish and it was this big." I can't.
You don't think that's cute?
No, I hate it.
Oh, well, someone asked me. By the way,
we're moving on.
Somebody asked Kirk, "Could you meme my cat?" And they sent a picture of their cat.
Oh, it's a picture of a cat, and it says something is.
Hold on, the cat's looking up. Describe the picture.
The cat's looking up, and it says something is awry. This sounds like a job for Detective Whisper.